Welcome to the afternoon show. It's 3 minutes past 1 on a Thursday afternoon. I'm Danny the Heck, your host for this evening. For you this evening, Wednesday afternoon. Hope you're doing well. We've got some interesting stuff happening. We're probably going to crash a We Are in SATOSHI meeting first, with Grace running the afternoon prime-time meeting at 7 o'clock, whatever time that is in their country. And we also will be looking at the second part of the court case documents for Brenda Chunga and Xue Lee. So that's as much as I can tell you. And I think we're about ready to go. We're going to get straight into the meeting with Grace, this Grace judge. And we'll just get this disclaimer out of the way. And we'll turn that down so you don't see it. Play my music. I'm Danny the Heck, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, here to name and shame anyone running a Ponzi scheme or a scam, as per my intro. Now, we're just going to have to fire up a few things. As I said, we will be actually looking at the court documents. I'm just finishing off a couple of tabs while we're speaking. I was a wee bit premature in pressing play. We had a fun session this morning, fully exposing the Anzac Crypto Whalers organization that's behind running a lot of these schemes. So at the moment, I need to bring window. I had to shut up, Sam. All right, I had to. What am I trying to say, Danny? I had to shut down a couple of thingies, but I'm trying to open them up again. Windows. Try to put this in the right screen, and hopefully we can get a virtual camera going on my phone. And now we can actually go into the Zoom meeting.
So what happened? It resulted in giving wrong user stats to some people. And then we got this issue from the community, and then we started.
All right. This could even be a recording by the sounds of it.
To coordinate with each other, Web 2 layer and Web 3 layer. So we created a nice, well bonding between them now.
I presume you guys can hear this.
Not even a challenge. Okay. So once you have, let's say, 10 to 15 tabs open and some of the transactions fail, once these transactions fail due to SPL error, or maybe you don't have flash loan limit, or maybe trade is not profitable, it was registering, it was depleting your flash loan limit. You know the reason why? Because the refresh time of the tab was long and users were closing the tab and opening the new one to start another trade. And that's what
I think this is actually
caused the lack of updation
tonight
in the database at application level, and then therefore it did not even make any changes or any alteration in the Web3 layer. That's why you have your limits intact. Actually works. And then you can relate. This is part of development. We are trying to achieve MVP here. And with the stats, with the problems that we are encountering, with the community in real time.
Hello, I think he's discovered me, is he? He's trying to find my username, cut me out, are you? Does happen. Ah, it's a recording. And she's hit the wrong button.
Analyzing more scenarios to identify potential.
I think that's what she's doing. She's playing a recording from the morning's meeting.
Failures. And
you're right. Think of the same thing, Susie.
Completely aligned or synchronized the Web3 layer data and the application layer data.
Well, we don't need to.
So that
we don't need to regurgitate this stuff, then, do we? But we can have a look at the people in the meeting, and we can tell you, oh my God, that lady Shaz, she's just continuously in these meetings, isn't it? So it's just incredible. Oh, well, in that case, there's no point us actually sitting in here listening to a recording. And if I'm right in saying this,
have certain
there's only 66
dependencies
people in this
which
meeting,
are
for
on the
God's sake.
network. So sometimes
So what I think would be beneficial to do is I will leave that on the screen over yonder, and we'll get straight into something else more exciting. How does that sound? What have we got here? Danny, you know this is a recording. Yes, I do. From earlier. It's not live. I saw Grace turn it on. Beautiful. There's only 62 people in here, and the chat is fully open. Oh, is that right? Oh, maybe we need to use that chat window. Maybe if I post that and get rid of myself, that might be a good idea. So let's what would be the best thing to post in that chat is the question. Let's go. Let's think outside the square, guys. I'm going to get out of there because I'm not listening to a recording, but if the chat's open, it'll definitely be worthwhile putting something. And you can unmute. Oh my God, really? Oh, thanks for that tip. All right, well, let's use that to our advantage. Let's see what I can do. I could always play one of my messages. Yeah, I know what I'll do. I got it sussed. All right, so let's do big time.
we found that
So let's use. Let's just destroy the account. We're going to play
Salutations, Ponzi schemer. Be aware. The Avengers have been
All right, so I'm going to play that message. And let's see what happens, eh? Right, are we ready for this? I don't know how long it will last, but let's just hijack the meeting. So I'm going to turn that sound on, and I'll turn my mic on. And hopefully this has been recorded somewhere. Okay, are we ready? And then we'll get rid of this out of the chat. So first thing I want to do is make myself more visible so you can see my facial expressions if I piss myself with excitement. We've got meeting there.
feed has dependency on database. So when I say database, these all issues which were there, these all lags which were there were because of the data.
Better do it quick.
Where we store the information.
Salutations, Ponzi schemer. Be aware. The Avengers have been observing your actions. Heed this warning. You can simply cease and desist now or face the full consequences. This is your only warning. There will be no second chances. Forgiveness isn't in our vocabulary. Forgetting is not an option. Stop now, or each and every one of you will be named and shamed. We are the Avengers. You are officially on notice. Your actions have been documented, reported to none other than the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. Salutations, Ponzi schemer. Be aware. The Avengers have been observing your actions. Heed this warning. You can.
Oh my God, did that happen? Did we actually do that? Oh my goodness, how brilliant was that? Oh, that's cool. All right, well, now we can go get on with the regular meeting. Hold it, Rob.
Be aware, we are watching you. This is your final warning.
Oh, brilliant. Did it just keep going, didn't it? She must have been away from the computer.
Oh, mate, Grace logged in just after I asked if anybody has any questions for Chavez, please put them in the chat box or PM me directly.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
And so I had to change my name to Muhammad Souk. And
oh, bloody hell.
And while you're saying that, I was typing in the chat room. please have a look at the site stats and how they've changed during maintenance.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I didn't expect them to shut the meeting, though.
Oh, is that what they've done?
It was pretty obvious where it was coming from because your fucking name had a green line around it.
I know, but there's the other guy that turned his camera on at the same time, and I thought, here's the opportunity. Either they're going to mute the whole room, or they're going to kick him out instead of me. So that was what I was banking on, and the fact that I got to play that, we got to play that whole measures twice. So that's a friggin' brilliant.
It was brilliant. I was going to say something. I thought, oh no, I just let this go.
Yeah. And what about
recorded message? That Chavez was recorded.
I know they've done that before though, which is a bit of a pain.
They're fucking lazy, aren't they? Like just playing a recorded message, so no fucking host or anything. You know, like they didn't have intro; they just hit play.
Now you know I'm live, don't you? And you're live.
Hey.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, brilliant. Sorry about that. I thought you knew that. Just the way you was talking, I'm thinking I don't think Rob actually knows that he's live at the moment. But yeah, I got that all on film, so that's even better.
Yeah, like it's not very respectful for their audience, is it? They should at least tell people that it's bloody recorded.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a laugh. I'm trying to figure out how to get the chat box popping up now so I can invite people to come on the stage with me.
I was looking forward to watching that, but never mind. Right, I'll leave you to it. I'll go get some work done.
All right, mate. Thanks, mate. See you, dude. Funny, bloody hilarious. Oh, well, there you go, guys. You heard it here first. So that's what we can do. That's sort of like I haven't had a Zoom connection for a while. And for some reason, I've got one left, so I don't want to abuse it too much. But I couldn't help myself on that one. Actually, since we haven't had a Zoom connection, I think my meetings have gone up, are actually more fun because I get more people telling me things and the like. So I'm just going to do call in to my call in and ask us questions to Danny. So here we go, Danny the Heck. And then I'll put the link in there. Right, there we go. So I have to do this for every meeting, but I have to. So that's one invite. Second invite, and I'll make one of those pins. So if you're watching this on we're streaming on 8 different locations at the moment. LinkedIn. I had Sean see me on LinkedIn today and send me a message, which was absolutely awesome. But by all means, come along, chat to me, and I'll show you what we want to do. Though there's a couple of things we're going to do today, which is a bit unusual. I'm just trying to catch up what's happening in the chat box. Good job, Danny. Thank you very much. They ended the meeting. That was friggin' brilliant. There's Lisa. How you going?
Hi.
That was pretty cool, wasn't it? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Did they cancel the meeting, or did they?
I don't know. I've missed a few minutes.
Well, they left the mic. They left the mic open.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then Rob was in there. I was in there, and so we just had a field day, to be honest. So it was just brilliant. So we had a good laugh for that one. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, what I was going to do, guys, is carry on from where we left off the other day. I'll just bring up a couple of. I'll just get you up to speed, guys.
I think they're starting to worry. They must be.
They have to be absolutely stupid not to be concerned.
I just can't understand how they're keeping it going because they know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. They know that it's all open, but they're still advertising it. It just doesn't make no sense to me.
Well, I think they got greedy because it sounds like that they're still collecting over $100,000 a day. So maybe they're just keeping it going as long as they can so they actually get all the money they can. And their bosses are probably flogging them, telling them, don't you give up yet. We're still making money out of this baby. You know, I don't actually quite get it. Yeah. All right. So what I was going to do, guys, I'm just being a bit naughty here. I'm getting some homework done while I'm done. I'm not going to be on here all afternoon because I need to find a place to live. But since we've called, I have actually rang up a lady and had a chat. So things are happening, and also sent off a message to a property manager who said she's going to broadcast to the world that we need a place to live. But if you want to put us up in your super yacht and you have a recording studio, we will consider moving to the Bahamas.
I'll come and join you.
Yeah. When I have a few friends that might pop in and stay for long periods of time, that would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
All right. So what I might need to do is actually show you what we got up to last week and just give you a recap on the video that we are actually. Now anyone can pop up on the stage and say good day and keep you company, which is I really do enjoy. But you can see right now we've got a video, and this is the one I'm talking on at the moment, called Continued. Hopefully I spelled that word right. But we are actually continuing from this video that we did less than 24 hours ago. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get back to I haven't even done the timestamps for it yet. Yeah. And that's not going to help me right now. But what we're going to do is I'm just going to put you on mute for a sec. Avoid recovery scam agents. Yeah, I think so. What we did is we went through and we showed a video of Brenda Chunga. Probably this was in Dubai. I got Brenda Chunga trying to introduce Sam back into the hyper community. And this is what we discussed in the first half of this video. She's sweating like a rapist, to put it bluntly. The host ended the meeting. Well, how about that? We shut down one of their meetings. That's just friggin' awesome. Well done, Avengers. We're going to have a bit of a cheer for that one. We're just going to go back and find the cheering noise. That's friggin' brilliant. Avengers strikes again. We can shut down these companies that are making millions of dollars from scamming people. All right, so Brenda Chunga and Sam. Brenda Chunga had already been arrested at the time that this video was filmed. She was released after 3 hours of questioning. She went into trying to trap Sam Lee. And she was in here trying to introduce Sam back into the hyper community. The whole idea was that this was to fool Sam into going back onto American soil where he would have been arrested. It didn't work. And then at one point, Brenda went missing. And then the men in black told me, do they think that Keith Williams would help them trap Brenda Chunga? Exactly. Amazing. So I know all this stuff. I've been watching this, and it's been very hard to watch Brenda coerce Sam back into the hyper community over the last 12 months. She's disappeared. She's had a passport taken off her. She's now got married. She had 2 weddings. In fact, one African wedding and one, I don't know, what do you call it, a US wedding? So we played that video just showing you what she was doing. And then what we did is we went through the court documents. And the court documents are actually what she's been charged for, her connection in it, and also it breaks down every single aspect of what we know about HyperFund or Hypertech Group. And it was quite interesting. But then we got a bit distracted by popping into what we just did, a We Are All Satoshi meeting, which is basically the dregs of HyperVerse people and also the dregs of the money that's been moved around these platforms. And now we're right up to speed with modern day. Every single day, something unusual happens, and it's hard to keep up with it. I'm actually providing an online documentation of the full history of HyperVerse, HyperFund, HyperNation, HyperCosmos, HyperPlanet, HyperCapital, HyperFund, and Hypertech Group. And there's a whole lot of other things like HyperMall, HyperBC, that's actually meant to be a real genuine bank, blah, 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 blah. And then we got a bit distracted in the first half, and we played some of these really good things where these guys were telling Sam off for this.
What it is. And now, what you're going to do, and now you're saying the tree, you don't have to build it all up again. Let's go back to the tree that we all got businesses in HyperVerse.
So this guy was ironic. When I saw him the other day, I thought, what a crack up. He's back in here again. I've seen these videos before, but he was blowing steam up Sam's ass at one point, and then he come back in at a later point, tell him what a disgusting individual he was. While I was playing this video, it's quite an action-packed video, and I know it's 6 hours long. I will put timestamps in it, but I didn't have a chance to finish it. So this is what this afternoon for me, it's 23 minutes past 1 in the afternoon. It's Thursday afternoon for me, and I just wanted to basically finish off where I left off. So just to reiterate, this was the video that we went through, and we had people coming in here and asking Sam questions, and you've got Brenda Chunga in here looking like she's sweating. It looks like you can tell the demeanor of Brenda Chunga isn't normally like she was. She was very sad. She was disappointed, and she was claiming that the one
what do they call it? One parent lady, whatever they call it. Anyway, she was claiming that she was sad about all the people that lost their money in HyperVerse, but she allegedly brought in $640 million for HyperVerse. She should have got 20% of that, which is over $100,000. She now claims that she only ever made $3.7 million from HyperVerse. But I have it from people who know her personally. Sorry?
I said only.
Yes. But I've heard from people who know her personally that she has been siphoning the money out and hiding the money. And we've actually got some evidence of that, which we will in time present to the men in black when I speak to them next. Now, the whole point of this exercise is she is obviously trying to save her own ass. But when I knew that she had already been arrested, and I also were watching her and her mannerisms, I could see this lady trying to act like she hasn't got a care in the world and trying to tell everyone that Sam, who she really hates, is actually a good guy and should be schmoozed back into the community. But the problem I had with that personally is a lot of the community started to believe Sam. And now we've got Viddy Look, we've got Stable Deo, we've got Viddy Look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we've got VAV, we've got We Are All SATOSHI, and they're all the dregs and all the leftover shit from HyperFund, HyperVerse, and HyperNation. So
You're white over
maybe
there. What's the matter with you?
What was that?
Oh, don't worry, I'm talking to Kev. Don't ignore me.
Okay, so what I wanted to do today, while I was listening to that video, I wanted to find the video of Brenda Chunga sitting there with a baseball cap talking to Sam. This video is only half an hour long, and I will put timestamps in this one, but I want to basically play this video from start to stop because I can't remember listening to it, but this is the one that I always refer to when Brenda Chunga was sitting there looking as guilty as hell. And I've never seen her wear a hat on camera. So you know how people hide these hats and they try to hide themselves? This is what I got from this video. So we're going to play that later on. But to get you up to speed, if you have been watching my other video, you would have known that we read out, this is the court documents of what they're actually, the civil action number, and this is the complainant from, the courts that are going after, who have laid charges against Sam Lee, and they've also laid charges against Brenda. Brenda's already pleaded guilty. We've got YouTubers out there saying, poor Brenda, she was just trying to feed her family. Poor Sam Lee, or I don't know if they say poor Sam Lee, but we've got Bitcoin Rodney, who's incarcerated and he's been locked up. So people are feeling sorry for these two because they were just providing opportunities to people. But I don't know what those people felt would be a good course of action, whether we just let Bitcoin Rodneys and Brenda Chungas just carry on doing what they are doing and don't stop them, or are they not registered financial advisors, and why are they promoting Ponzi schemes and scams that they don't know anything about? A good example of this would be Stephen Rees-Lewis. Now, Stephen Rees-Lewis was the fake CEO that claimed to have a tech company that he sold to Adobe. He was advising people. Now, information has come out in The Guardian that he was responsible for coercing $1.7 billion out of communities around the world. And now we've got to ask the question, should he also face the music? And why should Brenda, get all the heat? That is the question. So we got down and we went through this bit by bit, which I found quite interesting, but you might as well. So grab a cup of coffee, grab a beer, sit there in the sun and listen to me talk if you want. But I'm going to get my computer to read, carry on reading where we left off in part 1. And we got up to part 44. Now, this is a 31-page document, so don't get too excited. And I think we'll start from 44. And this is just explaining what they've actually charged these people for. So let's have a listen to this and we'll carry on where we left off.
In addition to those withdrawals, however, Chunga also took money directly from HyperFund investors. Chunga often accepted US currency directly from investors who transferred funds to her personal bank account via check or wire. In exchange, Chunga either transferred Tether to the investor for the investor to send to HyperFund, or she transferred Hyper units to the investor from one of her own HyperFund accounts. For these services, Chunga charged the investor a fee of between 1% and 3%. Chunga received an additional approximately $1.1 million by accepting funds directly from HyperFund investors.
Wow, and there's something straight away that I've learned from this document. This is exactly the same as what Bitcoin Rodney was doing. Now, she hired a $40 million yacht with Bitcoin Rodney, and you would have seen some promotional videos at the time. So he was doing the same thing. So what was happening is you would get rewarded in HU. They would use their USDT to create a brand new account for someone. Then they would let them pay cash into their bank account, and then they would use their own USDT to create the account, and you could use up to 50% of your HU dollars to fund a new account. Now, I've got videos of Kalpesh Patel showing people how to create multiple accounts. So they call it the 21 account structure. So there's 20 levels of commission structure. So people were literally, like Brenda Chunga, creating 20 levels of commission structure. They were creating the accounts. So if you feed in the money at the top, the 20 levels will take the money, and then I've got videos of Kalpesh Patel merging down the accounts, which means that at one point, 52% of the money that went into HyperVerse was going to be paid back as commissions. Now, if you created your own 20 accounts, so that would be you and 20 accounts, the 21 account structure, you could literally get 52% of the money back straight away. Now, that might not mean much, but if you're funding 50% of the account with HU dollars that you can't do anything with, and then using your own USDT to top it up, you would actually still be 2% on top of that. Now, this here is actually, she was charging people the privilege of doing this an additional 1 or 3%. So it's money laundering. You can't actually handle the money of another entity or organization and then pay it through your own bank account, because that's how money is money laundering. So they would have done her for money laundering. So it's really interesting, the fact that they actually picked up on that. So remember, she's claimed that she's only made 3.7 million out of her connection with HyperVerse. I know that doesn't add up with what I know. And also I've got videos of Keith Williams telling her that she's brought in $640 million for HyperVerse, and she's sitting there nodding away. So I don't know why she would make out that she's only made $3.7 million when everyone knows you make at least 20% from introducing new people into it. Now, hopefully I explained this. Oh my God, the Zoom is back up. Rob jumped on. I don't know if I should risk it, but what the heck? Let's see what I can do. Okay, so that means that we may have a commercial break here again, and we might be going back to the meeting. So let's have a listen here. I'll see what happens. First of all, I'll just share my screen. Let's see if I can. I'll have to change my name, but it won't be a second. What name should I have? I think I might have. So if you haven't picked up on that, there's a message in here saying that they've got the meeting back online. And for shits and giggles, let's go back in there and see if we can. God, I don't even know what I'm doing here at the moment. So first thing I need to do is change my name. And we're going to call myself Jim.
Fred
It is. Jim or Fred, you'll have to look for it now. I don't know how to spell Fred, but I think it's F and then Red.
F-R-E-D, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And I've got a name that's already popped up here, so I'll stick with that. Fred, let's have a bit of fun while we can. Don't worry, the ironic thing about this is they banned my accounts, and I might just see if I can grab another photo if I can for a change. Let's see what we've got here. I might actually use my real photo and see if they recognize me. That would be quite funny.
You want to put a photo and put a beard on and.
Oh well, I don't want to get. I don't like beards, so just it doesn't quite go. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see. So we've got. You put that in the chat room. Now I have to find that link somehow. 1 minute, please, caller. Remember, we do this live, so this is why we get a bit of disruption going. Snitch continued. Right, I'll just turn it down for a second. Let's see what happens there. Launch meeting. Yep. Be interesting to see if I can get in. Okay, it might be in. Meeting settings. Done. Got it. 58 people. Okay, let's have a listen.
Not have captured it. There's an error in the system, but it's accurate on the blockchain.
Yes, but the blockchain is not calculating the profits. Only Boomerang be calculating profits.
My God, Rob.
Blockchain only measure transactions.
But it also captures the transaction histories.
I invite people to go check it out themselves, do their own maths.
Rob, you're brave.
Pascal did a Zoom the other day where he actually demonstrated that there could be a discrepancy, so people should go by what is shown in the on.
I agree with Rob.
I'm just telling you what Pascal said. He did a training that demonstrated that. Pardon me?
Pascal has problems.
And I think a lot of, I think a lot of people are making guesses, but let's do the maths. How can profit materialize from nowhere? And if you do the maths from when it come back from maintenance, average profit percentage only 1.16%.
Check the blockchain. Check your blockchain transactions. That is what Pascal suggested. Add it all up and see if it equals to the amount of your flash loan.
No, I'm saying the figures on the Boomerang website, since it came back from maintenance until now, are only showing 1.16% since it's been back up. But the figures before it go down show profit about 177,000. Profit when it came back up with no more trades being done, 225,000 or so. So, Chavez need to explain, that's all.
But the trainers have been trading.
They are paid. They're paid, they are.
Some of them weren't trading because the Boomerang was kind of wonky there.
Seriously, guys, this is a scam. It's a shame. And I just wish we could help more people. That's what we do this for. It doesn't add up.
Okay, so you're one of them who believes that the whole thing's a scam, and that is what you're trying to do here?
Yeah. No, we've actually got an expert. We've got two experts that have really looked at this extensively, and we've actually gone through 20,000 lines of code, and we've found that the arbitrage trading is actually done manually, and it's not connected to anything to do with arbitrage trading. We're watching people being paid. If you go to my channel and you look at Crypto G's, if you look at Crypto G's video, you can see promoting your own scam. And I mean, you can overtalk me, but it's not right.
Promoting your own shit.
No, we're not promoting our own shit. I've got things to do with my time.
I think we need to shut down this.
This is not right.
Yeah,
because you guys need to listen to the facts. You guys need to listen to the
Shut it down. Shut it down.
No. 84, 93, 100.
Shut it down.
We don't need to listen to anybody.
Beating the whip. Anthony is going to the place where you find all of this. The rod, the sword, and the shield is where? The word.
One person to talk at a time, please.
It's in the word.
Who opened it?
Not on the web, in the word.
This is John 1. John 1.
God is not a Google search engine where you go looking for answers whenever you have a problem.
You know this has been
God is God.
YouTube channel, don't you guys?
That's what David said.
Everyone exit the Zoom now.
Well, who is God?
Everyone
except the Lord?
exit the Zoom
And
now.
who is a rock except our God?
Excuse me, Dennis, are you trying to take control
When
of
it
the
comes to this
meeting?
issue of spiritual warfare, we want to pretend like we're non-combatants.
Dennis,
Like we're
please
conscientious
restrict people.
objectors.
This is great.
As if to opt out
Crypto
means that we
G
don't
did a
have a
video
role to
showing
play.
you this is a scam.
That's not what the Bible says.
And even God would come down and
The Bible says that we engage in this battle. We're not in Jesus said you're either for me or you're what? Against me.
Look, I'm sorry.
Paul
guys.
said that it is our responsibility to put on the whole armor of God and take a stand.
Right. Who's that guy?
I'm sorry, are we
Problem with
in a
most churches is rather
Christian
than take a
class
stand,
now?
we're in the stand.
What's going on? Is we are SATOSHI?
Not only is this war supernatural,
Supernatural.
but you need to understand that the outcome of this fight has already been decided.
Raise your hand.
God is not trying to defeat our enemy. He's already conquered him.
Raise your hand.
He's already destroyed him. He's already defeated him.
Unmute.
Go read what Colossians
So
chapter
you're
2 and
Zoom
verse
bombing.
15 says.
Dennis,
It
stop
says that
Zoom
there at a
bombing the
place
meeting,
called
please.
Calvary, where Jesus died, he made a public spectacle. He didn't win by a close margin. He absolutely stomped the devil and every power and principality of hell. He made a public spectacle of them when he triumphed over them at the cross. That triumph belongs to you. That triumph belongs to you.
There we go.
What would you do if you knew the outcome of the game before the ball was kicked off? I mean, you might listen to the other team talk as they go up in the first quarter. You might listen to them cheer as they go in ahead by the half. But you just sit back and smile and say, just wait till the end. Just wait till the end.
Hallelujah.
I know you guys think you got this all right, but just wait till.
Everybody, they invested their money and they took over.
This is what
and
Jesus did on our behalf.
And then it went down from
Before the game
and they
even
multiplied
started,
it
before the
again
battle
and
even
again
began,
and
he went to a place called
and the money
Calvary.
lenders bought Boomerang too, and everybody
Gave
prospered.
you the victory. And most of
Hallelujah.
us are forfeiting what he has given because we refuse to
I think we
engage.
can cut him out, actually. We just need to find him and mute him. Oh, is he
You're not
done?
trying to win. All you're trying to do is remind the enemy you're defeated.
Block him. I think we can actually mute him.
Sickness comes my way. Sickness, you're defeated because by his stripes I'm healed. Need comes my way. Need, you're defeated because my God shall supply all of my needs according to his riches and glory. Fear comes my way. Fear, you're defeated because God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. Shame comes my way. Surely he has borne my shame because he was bruised for my iniquities. He was wounded that I might be set free. He wore a crown of thorns that I, who was a prisoner, could become a son of God and a prince in heaven. And I'm here to remind the world, the flesh and the devil today, that whom the Son sets free is free indeed. Give the Lord a hand clap of praise.
Well, that was good. I quite enjoyed that. I haven't been to church for a long time.
Must be true worshipers who embrace God's presence, regardless of our surroundings. How can the power of praise change your life? Thank you. Be humbled and obedient to Him, and see His power released in your life.
Releasing that power.
Judge Grace.
Hey, Bob, is that you, mate? There you go, Bob.
Live album CD with our very own
We also SATOSHI got no leader.
$75 or more.
I love taking those meetings. Hey, why isn't my miner working? Why isn't my miner working? Can I ask a question? I want to ask a question.
Your sources to bless your home.
Don't leave the room. They can't shut it
image
down.
of our Heavenly Father.
Stay in the room.
Every blessing you receive
What else do I want to say? My
Miners NFT market $16.
I haven't been paid for 42 days. I haven't been paid for 42 days.
Judge Grace.
How am I going to feed? How am I going to feed my children?
Engage in spiritual warfare.
Oh, that
Pull
gold
up
guy.
the bridge. Pull up the bridge. Pull up the bridge.
We forfeit to the devil what God has
Come and
already
listen to
given
the
us.
truth, guys. Listen to the truth.
You need to remember what the Bible says. Submit to God, resist the devil, and he'll flee
Salutations,
from you.
Ponzi schemer. Be aware. The
Not only
Avengers
is this
have been
battle not
observing
natural, but
your
supernatural. Not only is
actions.
the victory already
Heed
won,
this
but you
warning.
need to understand
You
God
can
knows the
simply
fight you're in.
cease and desist now or
Oftentimes we
face
become
the full
discouraged in
consequences.
difficult times of our
This
lives
is
and
your
hard
only
places
warning.
because we pretend
There will
like
be no
God's taken by
second
surprise.
chances. Forgiveness
You didn't
isn't
see it,
an out of
but he did.
vocabulary. Forgetting is not
You
an
didn't know
option.
about it, but
Stop
he did.
now.
You
Or
wouldn't have wished
each
for it,
and
and here's something
every
that you're
one
not
of
going to
you
write.
will be named and shamed. We are the Avengers.
He's sovereign.
You
He's
are officially
all-powerful.
on notice.
If
Your
he didn't allow it,
actions
then
have
he
been
can't be all powerful and he can't be sovereign.
I know who you are.
And what you have to do
I know
is
what you've
trust
done.
that he knows
And if
exactly
you're
what you're
thinking
going to need
of
in order
escaping
not only to get through
with
it, but
people's
come out.
investments, I can
Jarvis, you're
assure you
toast, mate.
This is what the psalmist
I
meant
am
when he said,
resurrected,
weeping
mate.
may endure for the night,
what
but
I
joy
possess
comes in the
is a
morning.
specific set of skills honed over a lifetime of unraveling financial
This is
deceit.
what we have to remember.
Skills
In a hard
that
season
make
of
me
life,
a living
God
nightmare
saw
for
it,
fraudsters
and God
like
allowed it,
you.
and God knows what's
If
best
you
for us.
return the investments now,
God knows what's
Last
best
week
for
I
us. We
said
are
that we have to
Satoshi
trust
people.
in
I
Him,
don't think so.
not on our own
I
understanding.
won't pursue you.
In James
I won't
chapter
track
1
you
says,
down.
count it all joy when
But
you fall into various
if you
trials,
choose
knowing
not
that the
to,
testing of your faith
I
produces
will
patience,
find you.
and patience, when it
I
has
will
had its
expose
perfect
you.
work, you will be
And I will
complete
Shut that
and
ensure
guy up,
lacking
though, wouldn't
nothing.
you face the full force of the
It's one
crypto
thing to
Ponzi
agree to
scheme
be
Avenger.
patient, but agreeing to be patient at a time of trouble?
I
You
know
mean
who
God's
you
going to
are.
use trouble to
I
teach
know
me
what
something?
you've done. And
You
if
mean
you're
God's going to
thinking
make me
of
uncomfortable in
escaping
order for me to
with
grow?
people's investments,
You mean God is going to
I
give
can
me the
assure
desires
you
of my heart, but I'm going to have to hurt
there's
before I
nowhere
get
you
there?
can hide. What I possess is a specific set of skills
James says, count it all joy.
honed over a
You
lifetime
might be
of
shocked,
unraveling
but God's not.
financial deceit.
You must
Let
be
God
shocked, but
work.
God's
Let Him
not.
move.
That
Let
make
Him
me
show
a
you what He
living
has
nightmare
intended
for
for you,
fraudsters
because
like
He's the
you.
God who sees the end
If you
from the
return
beginning.
the investments now, that
Most
will be
people
the
don't
end
want
of
to
it.
believe that God would let them go through
I
anything
won't
unpleasant,
pursue
but you
you.
cannot read the Bible and believe that. Just consider
Yeah,
the
them
book of
space
Job,
invaders.
Job chapter
Let's
2
get
and
the
verse
Christian
6.
guy. Shoot him down.
It says, the Lord said to Satan. Who's God talking to? Satan. It says, the Lord said to Satan, Job is in your hands, but you cannot touch his life. God gave the devil permission to turn Job's life upside down. Why? Why would God do that? That's the question everybody wants to know. Why would God do that? Because the battle that we're in is about one thing and one thing only. Who gets the glory? Who gets the glory? This battle is not about you. This battle started long before you got here. This battle goes all the way back to Genesis. And it's going to keep going all the way to Revelation chapter 21 when Jesus Christ says, it is done.
I know who you are. I know what you've done. And if you're thinking of escaping with people's investments, I can assure you there's nowhere you can hide. What I possess is a specific set of skills honed over a lifetime of unraveling financial deceit.
32 people don't know how to
Skills that make me a living nightmare for fraudsters like you. If you return the investments now, that will be the end of it. I won't pursue you. I won't track you down. But if you choose not to, I will find you. I will expose you.
He took everything that you've given to Job away from him. He denounced you. He denied you. He quit glorifying you.
Come on, baby.
And God says to Satan, you can touch his life. Can't take it.
Now, if you wonder what we're doing here, we are shenaniganing. This is because for some reason, somebody started up a We Are All Satoshi Zoom meeting and forgot to put a host in. So was 50 odd people in here listening to some Bible basher, which we have nothing to do with. I promise you that one. And all the Avengers going in there to cause havoc, and they haven't shut down the room yet. That's just what we're doing. Okay.
Job loses his business. Job loses his family. Job buries his children. In one day, Job has had a complete reversal of everything that he woke up with in that morning. And then at the end of that day, his wife comes to him and she gives this advice: curse God and die.
Hey,
I mean, no, it's not good advice.
Jojo's in here. Hey, Jojo, what's it like kissing Carl Miller?
And Job looks at her and he says,
how you doing, Jojo? What's it
am
like?
I only to take
hooking
good
up with Carl Miller?
Am I only to take good?
Hello,
good
Jojo.
Am I only to receive
Jojo
bad
takes it up the...
Or is even when bad comes? And I don't understand what's going on.
You go, Jojo.
Doesn't he deserve glory then too?
What are you going to do about the Jojo? Can you
if I'm going to praise him in the good times, I'm going to be faithful and praise him.
We have
in the
proven that they are manually paying people.
Because it doesn't matter what kind of time I'm having in my life, God is still God. And God is still greatly to be praised. Job said it this way. He said, the Lord gives.
Hey, Carl,
and the Lord takes away.
Hello, Carl.
May the name of the Lord.
Mate. Carl, you're in your dressing gown. You've been with Jojo. Carl.
You say, well, that was a one and done. That was
all being broadcasted live on the internet. This is We Are Satoshi.
I've actually sat and listened to theologians say, well, we're not even sure Job existed.
Oh, we had the finance account.
Have you been able to withdraw from
finance
account?
account? Hey, Carl, how's the 180,000 emails?
Yeah.
The night that Jesus is arrested,
have you
Jesus
noticed
comes to Peter in Luke chapter 22, and here's what he says. He says, Simon, Simon, indeed Satan.
You must be worried about the reporter knocking on your door.
That's your mother-in-law, Satan.
Satan's come to get you, Carl. Hey, Carl. You're
the
chief. You're the chief cheek officer. Can't handle a Zoom meeting.
Satan.
I love your dressing gown, mate. What's the story with that?
Satan has asked me.
Ask? Somebody say ask?
If he could sift through his wheat.
What are you going to do with it, Carl?
Take your life
hey, Jojo.
and trouble it and go around and do it and hurt it and make everything seem like it's out of control. He asked you if he could do it.
Hey, Carl. How you doing, mate?
Now, Jesus was saying that to us. We're saying, you said no, right?
Carl.
Wish we could shut Jesus up.
You, Carl. I'm knocking on your door.
He asked me if he could.
Hey, it's a please take me away. Take me away. I didn't mean
it for you.
Oh,
Carl, he's going to do it, man.
Hey, Carl's
we have the video.
He's going to tear you.
Carl's left. Carl's left with Jojo.
I prayed for you. And when you return to me, he already told him the end of the game before the kickoff. It's going to get tough. It's going to hurt. You're going to think it's going to hurt yourself. But when you return to me, when you come out
CEO of technology,
we all live in a yellow submarine. A yellow submarine.
Your brethren. When you come out of this, Peter, I want you to tell the world what a mighty God is. When you come out of this, Peter, I want you to tell everybody that you see who Jesus is.
I know who you are. I know what you've done. And if you're thinking of escaping with people's investments, I can assure you, there's nowhere you can hide. What I possess is a specific set of skills honed over a lifetime of unraveling financial deceit. Skills that make me a living nightmare for fraudsters like you. If you return the investments now, that will be the end of it. I won't pursue you.
And he's already won the victory on your behalf. He's saying to you, when you come out of this, I want you to tell everybody no. When you come out of this season of sickness, I want you to tell them about a God who's a healer. When you come out of this time of sorrow, I want you to tell them about a God in whose presence is the fullness of joy. When you come through this storm that you're in, I want you to tell them about a God who can calm the winds and calm the waves. When these chains of addiction get broken and these shackles that you can't shake disappear, I want you to tell them about a God who sets people free. Because who the Son sets free is free indeed. Is there anybody in this house today that's got something to say about a God who's pulled you through?
Nope, not leaving.
They've got in
I'll be the last one in the room.
Yeah.
No. I have 40 accounts in the room.
Hey, Jesus is gone.
No.
Jesus is gone.
Because this battle is not about you. It's about who gets the glory.
Hey, Chavez, how many Zoom accounts can you go through in a week, Chavez? We're shutting you down, mate. We've got a
When you give God the glory,
straight into Zoom.
It doesn't matter.
We can shut your meetings down every time.
It doesn't matter, like the preacher said. It doesn't matter, like the preacher said.
The Revelations 21, 3 and 4.
In the parking lot. When you give God the glory, you disqualify yourself from being a target for the enemy.
Carl, come on. Carl, come back.
Oh, he'll be
watching us in the live.
He wouldn't go
Every
away.
time he bothers you, you start giving God glory and you lose this ground.
Answer the question. We want the answer. We want an answer. Reply to Crypto Juice. Reply to Crypto
They
Juice.
afflict you and you say, glory to God.
Crypto
Leave him alone.
Hello, everybody.
Leave that one alone. He knows
Does
the
anybody
right
want to
thing to
see
say.
where the real money is? Who wants? Raise your hand if you want to see where Chavez has been stealing the money from. Who's been in HyperVerse? Who's been in HyperVerse? Anybody members from HyperVerse in here?
Why me? It always happens to me.
Oh, share the Guardian article. Can we share the article? Oh, we can
You're
share.
singing the devil's song.
Yeah, you can share.
Oh, I'll have a go. I'll find something. I
You're
might just try.
taking the affliction, internalizing it, and pretending like God doesn't love you. And you're playing the devil's fool.
I'll see if I can share something.
Stop throwing yourself a pity party.
What?
You want to share?
Yeah,
and
I'll
put
share
on
my
the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness.
Oh, I love it, mate.
Knowing that the Lord, your rock,
So good, like his color
and the
himself.
Lord, your sword, is sharp,
I see.
and He's going to defend you. And the Lord, your shield, He's big enough to protect you. And let the
Lord led you by the nose, and he said, "Buy Boomerang," and it was good.
Is that you,
And this and
Is that you,
straight and a pier, and it was good. And the Lord said, "Invest all your money, all your money, your superannuation, your child's inheritance, your house, your car, invest in a Boomerang," and it was good. It was good.
God glory.
There we
I
go.
love it. That's right. All right.
You give God glory. If you magnify Him in this moment, no matter what enemy you're facing, no matter the size of the issue you need to solve.
Look at that.
Fred, don't
you give God glory.
Flip his email. Carl and Miller.
God make a way.
Make it really big for everybody.
God will move the mountains. God will heal a broken place in your life.
I love this preacher guy.
I know it's not the easiest thing to do. That's why it's called a
I must admit, this isn't much fun if you're not me, but we are having a bit of fun because I've left the meeting unattended, and we can obviously share whatever we like onto the screen. And the only thing they can do is leave the meeting and leave it open. And we've shut down probably 20 of their Zoom accounts over the last probably month. And it's just brilliant to be able to actually cause this much disruption. Seriously, though, we don't want people to be scammed, and they're using Zoom as a utility. And right now, Zoom won't listen to them because Zoom don't listen to us much. However, I have a hotline where I do email Zoom, and they seem to take 12 hours to shut down each meeting. So this meeting can't be shut. And there's lots of people in here at the moment.
What's the password, Danny?
Oh, do you want to go in there as well?
Yeah, what's the password for the meeting?
Actually, I didn't think of that. I'll just put it back up.
177. I can't remember the other three numbers.
I'll see if I can find it. I'll post it in the chat for you. But I think
Thank you.
the lives of millions of people.
So why can't they shut the Zoom down, Danny?
It's complicated to explain, but basically there's no admin.
So that's ridiculous.
I know, it's brilliant. So the password is 777 373.
373. Okay.
Yeah, and there's the whole link if you want to click on it. But everyone, if you want to go in there, let's take over their meeting. I mean, let's fight back at these bastards. I mean, we're having a bit of fun, but you know.
And community service initiatives.
Must be getting so many calls right now.
Together,
I reckon.
the nations of the world.
Do you think that URL is a good one to shoot? I'll take the credit.
As we expand into areas such as Apple TV, Roku.
Hey guys, how about we don't leave the room and we just ask Danny to play Crypto G's video about Boomerang, explaining the trades.
I like that idea, wherever that was.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, I didn't think of that. Okay, let's do that. I'll bring it.
Everybody in the room, this is somebody's else's interpretation of what's going on with Boomerang.
I still know it's you, Rob. All right, I'll bring that up. Give me a second. Hello? Have we got rid of the preacher?
What if I told you that you could have a profound impact on this generation?
What have I told you? I could have a profound. All right.
There are none so deaf as those who will not listen, Dan. You can rename yourself, shut down Zoom, and you can play your Jesus. But you ain't being nice, are you?
Here we go.
You're not doing every favor, are you, Dennis?
Yeah, where are you?
When it comes to taking care of your family or fulfilling your purpose, your health matters. Revitalize your body's defenses with the whole Armor Immunity Kit, an exclusive 30-day supply of nutrients, including vitamin C and D3, zinc, apple pectin, and more. Get your monthly
Dennis, it's another one of the schemes that you're. Is this an advertising broadcast?
Okay, how's that? Is that playing?
Other valuable items for donation are deductible. Now is the time to sow a seed in this dynamic ministry. To donate or get more information, call, log on, or email gifts at daystar.com. Today's generation, Daystar, their home for faith television. Daystar, experience it.
Welcome to Gospel Truth with Andrew Womack. Celebrating 55 years of ministry.
And I want to personally say thank you for what you have been able to do for us in your adamant pursuit of the word. And how
is that working?
Oh, God-fearing folks, then watch this video.
Is that playing?
Watch this video and do your friends and colleagues a favor. No, it ain't playing. But it might now.
Broadcast of the Gospel Truth.
Is that working?
Today I'm nearing the end of my 4th week of teaching
No.
financial stewardship.
The video.
I've written a book on this. This is a 166-page book. We're asking for a donation of any amount to help us with the expense of this. And then I've got a little summary, a 50-page summary of this whole teaching. This is our free gift for you. We'll be giving away 60, 70,000 of these, and I encourage people to help us financially. But this is such an important
See how
issue
many
that I
people
just
I
want you to
recognize
have
in the
it.
room. Call
So
it.
if you could not or would not send it
You're in
we'll send you
Vidilla.
that little
That's why
booklet.
you in Vidilla
The free
room.
gift. We've also got a study guide that's
this
over
working?
300 pages. It's the same material, just reformatted.
In
so
Mud
you can teach
Rumman.
other people.
I remember
And
you.
just go back and
You
say
said,
that this is such an
she
important
is the greatest
subject.
thing.
And there is so much religious
Edmund Roman.
resistance
Is this actually playing, guys?
on prosperity. That's the reason I entitled this Financial Stewardship. It's really not about prosperity. It's about stewardship.
He just has his
God
microphone
is the one
open.
who is the source of all
Hilarious.
prosperity.
He, like, left.
Deuteronomy 8:18
What are
says,
you
"You
doing?
shall remember it's the Lord your God who gives you power to get wealth, that He may establish His covenant." God doesn't give us money; He gives us power and anointing. It was provided by Jesus. 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 9 says that the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, that though He was rich, yet for your sakes He became poor, So the cheat through his poverty might be made rich. Prosperity. I mean, not just barely getting by, but richness, abundance is part of what Jesus came to provide for us. But it doesn't come automatically. When healing comes automatically, then joy comes automatically, relationships, marriage, all of these things. We have to renew our mind. We have to pursue this. And yet there's a religious concept that you just don't ever talk about money, that God will just supernaturally make things appear. You know, let me use an example. I was raised and heard this my whole life about George Mueller, and he had a number of orphanages in England. George Mueller gave testimony about how, I don't know the exact number, but I think it was hundreds of children that were in this orphanage, and they actually sat down and joined hands and were praying and blessing the food which they didn't have.
You think people are going to join God, or do they think they're going to join Boomerang?
Prayed. And as he was praying, a truck drove up and started unloading food.
I've done nothing wrong.
They use that as an example to see that if you just trust God, you'll tell God your needs, it'll just supernaturally happen. And I don't mean to disparage that, but if you continue to study, if you learn about the life of George Mueller, yes, he was trusting God, and yes, he was faith for him to stand there and bless that food that they didn't have. And God did miraculously supply. But what you don't understand is that he also sent out a newsletter. And in this newsletter, he talked about what the needs of that orphanage was and how many kids they had to feed and all of these things. And the person that brought the food, there's no doubt that the timing of it, it was God. I'm not saying it wasn't God, but God used people. And if those people, if there was not people who knew what the need was, he probably wouldn't have supplied. And again, there's some people think, no, God just supernaturally supplies things. God uses people. Luke 6:38 says, give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together and running over, shall men give into your bosom. God is not going to rain money out of the sky. He is not going to just supernaturally counterfeit money and put it in your wallet. God uses people. God doesn't have money.
The guy who counterfeits money is
counterfeit money. God gives you power and anointing, and he uses people. Did you know in my ministry, I remember when Jim Baker and Jimmy Swaggart, both of them in the same year, had major scandals. It was the first time that really visible media ministers had been exposed in that degree, or at least in my perspective, in my lifetime. It was the first time. And did you know that, I forget exactly what our income was, but our income went down $40,000 a month when those two guys got put on the, Jim Baker went to jail and Jim Slater got defrocked. The Assembly of God and some things happened. And anyway, I didn't have anything to do with what they did.
Get that one on there.
And yet, you know what it was? God uses people. And when people all of a sudden saw that some of these people on TV were not everything that they were cracked up to be, they immediately became skeptical. And did you know that when 9/11 happened, our income was affected by that? Every time that some major thing happens, like the Iraqi war, or you could just go through any major thing that just captivates the attention of people. You know what happens? People quit watching the Christian stations, the Christian net. They tune in to the secular stations, wondering about where is all of this going. And out of sight, out of mind, because they aren't watching my program and other programs.
I'm recording this and I'm sending it.
I don't have anything to do with the Iraqi war. I don't have anything with these guys. Stole money.
Recording and sending it.
Anything else, and yet it affects me.
Oh, can you record it?
It's simplistic for us to believe that God is just going to.
And I'm going to say, I was sent in from We Are All SATOSHI. Your Telegram group gave me the link.
If you aren't in ministry, if you're out whose fault is that? Instead of you just praying and saying, "Oh God, give me some money," you need to recognize God uses people. I had a guy that would be your fault. You sent me the link. He got hold of the Word of God and got kicked out of his Baptist church. So he came over to where I was in Texas, and he started attending my church, and he was out of a job, as a pastor, and he was living with some other people in the church. And the guy was mooching off of everybody. We were taking him food, and I was trying to encourage him. And I said, you need to go get a job or something. He says, well, I'm just believing God. And I said, well, why can't you get a job and believe God? Why don't you do something? God said in Deuteronomy chapter 8, Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28, he said he would bless the work of your hands. 100 times 0 is 0. He said, go get a job. And he said, well, before I became a pastor, what I used to do, he worked on cars, and he repaired boots and things like that in cars. And he said, what I used to do is take a business card, and I would just go downtown, and I'd look at cars. And if there was a scratch, if there was something, a dent in the car, and I estimated it was like $200 to fix this, I'd ride on the back of the car. I'll fix this for $100. Half price for that. He said, I just go downtown and do that for an hour or so, and I had enough work lined up for a month. I said, well, why don't you do that now? He said, well, I'm just trusting God. I said, why don't you do that, trust God? This concept that God is just going to supply money directly to you is not how it works. God is going to give you a creative idea. Or you're going to set your hand under something. You're going to do something for somebody that is worth money to them. Or you will produce some kind of a product that they will consider to be worth more to them than this $10 bill that they have, and they'll swap for you. But people are going to be used in your finances. And so I told this guy, I said, why don't you do that? And he did that, and you know what? God started meeting his needs. But we have students every year who come, and they know that God told them to come to Bible school, and so they're trusting God for their finances, but they won't do anything. God is not going to rain money out of heaven. He's not going to counterfeit money. It's going to come through people, and somehow or another, people are going to be involved in your finances. You've got to go out and do something.
Sorry, guys.
That is so simple. I just taught a chapel on this to Bible college students, because many of them are just sitting there trusting, they're believing God, doing all that they know to do, but they won't go work the job. You got to work the job. You got to do something. Maybe not everybody works 8 to 5. Maybe you've got intellectual, abilities and stuff that will be worth something to somebody. Maybe you work on the internet and do something, but somehow or other, you have to do something that will generate and release this flow of finances towards you. In my own personal life and ministry, I know that God isn't going to just drop money out of heaven to me. I know it comes through people. And so, you know what? I minister potentially from point to billion people. Of course, not all of those people watch the program, but that's the potential. There are people that are watching this program. I'm speaking into their life. I'm sharing truths with them. But the truth is free. And it's appropriate for me to believe for God to supernaturally supply my needs through the people I minister to. It says, God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sows, that shall he also reap. If I've sown spiritual things, I'm supposed to reap back financial things from you. So a minister is working. He may not be punching a clock and doing manual labor, but I guarantee you it's work to minister the gospel. And so I'm working, and it says over in chapter 5, let those who labor in the word be counted worthy of double honor, that labor in the word. For every 1 hour that I teach the Word of God, I have spent hundreds, maybe thousands of hours meditating in Scripture. This last, I spent hours studying the Word. I've been doing this for 55. And so my point is, I'm not trying to draw attention to myself. I'm trying to give an illustration that there is no such thing as you just believing God and God supplying your needs supernaturally, sovereignly, without some person being involved. People are involved in your prosperity. So if you own a business, instead of sitting there and praying and waiting for God to do something, take your authority. People are going to buy their product from somebody.
Because everybody's
and so say, I don't care what the economy is or what fear is being put out there. They're going to buy somebody's product. I'm just believing that they're coming and getting my product. I send my angels out. I believe that they are touching people from the north, the south, the east,
That guy is hard to listen to. Oh my goodness, I don't know if we need to put up with this anymore. Sorry, the meeting got hijacked by us. Well, sorry. Oh, it's funny, guys. Oh, but it's just I don't think we're making much headway. But these people will probably think we're a bunch of idiots because we oh, that's Carl's payslip. Look at that. Is that Carl's payslip?
Is to start talking about partnership. And I've made this point earlier in the week, but it's obvious that when you give to a ministry or to a church or, to any kind of missionary work, benevolence work, anything like that, it's obvious how your gift benefits the person you give to. But most people don't realize how it's used. So what I want to do is take the book of Philippians and just take some things, probably scripted most of it before, but we haven't heard them in the context that Paul wrote this. Paul was writing to his...
Oh, well, I don't know if we should do this too much longer, but it's too tempting.
I'll get into this in more detail on today's program later in the week. But he said over in Philippians chapter 4, he says that the Philippians were the only people that ever supported him after he left a local area.
Anybody know all
that's a terrible thing
365
to say.
usernames?
But most of the people that Paul ministered
I know
to,
who
he
you are.
exposed his life
I know.
to persecution.
Salutations, Ponzi schemer. Be aware. The Avengers have been observing your actions. Heed this warning. You can simply cease and desist now or face the full consequences. This is your only warning. There will be no second chance. Forgiveness isn't an out of vocabulary. Forgetting is not an option. Stop now, or each and every one of you will be named and shamed. We are the Avengers. You are officially on notice. Your actions have been documented, reported to none other but the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. Salutations, Ponzi schemer. Be aware. The Avengers have been observing your actions. Heed this warning. You can simply cease and desist now or face the full consequences. This is your only warning. There will be no second chances. Forgiveness isn't an out of vocabulary. Forgetting is not an option. Stop now, or each and every one of you will be named and shamed. We are the Avengers. You are officially on notice. Your actions have been documented, reported to none other but the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. Salutations, Ponzi schemer. Be aware. The Avengers have been observing your actions. Heed this warning. You can simply cease and desist now or face the full consequences. This is your only warning. There will be no second chance. What was that? Hello. Don't know. I think we've done our damage. I think we've done enough. I think we've got our point across. I'll leave that going. A bit of fun. What I will do, though, is I will share.
They were becoming a partaker with him.
Yeah. Whew. Wow, that was a bit of fun. I don't know if we can get the meeting back on track after that. But yes, definitely a lot of fun. And sorry to everyone who's a regular one. You don't get many opportunities like that when you get to take over a Zoom meeting. How that happened, people were asking, how did we happen to get control of it? It was because they started the meeting without any host. So you can actually log in as the host. So whoever owns that Zoom meeting link could actually take control of the meeting if they log back into it. Now, the reason why they're using random links at the moment is because we're reporting them to Zoom. And we're just literally trying to make them look like idiots. So at the moment, there's only a handful of people in here. That probably half the people in here are people who could literally say we hate them and we go after them. So these scams, we've been doing this for I've been doing this for over 2 years. I've been trying to create public awareness about these guys running scams. So when we get a moment like this, we all act like idiots. We do whatever we do to cause as much disruption as possible. It also creates awareness. We are hoping that people are actually coming to our chat room who are actually investors in We Are All Satoshi. We were trying to play a video, but Jesus took over, of Crypto G, who was proving that Boomerang is actually a scam, and they're literally paying people money from a separate wallet address, so they think that they're doing arbitrage trading. So if you invest $10,000, the person that introduced you into it will get a backhander of $1,000, and then that backhander would be able to be taken off the platform straight away. Then what they do is they basically drip feed up to about $600 or $700 back to the person once they sit there for a week trying to use up $50,000 of flash loan money. And they think that they know how it works because the money is turning up in their MetaMask wallet. So $1,800 at the most is going back to the people who introduced you to it and back to the people that have paid the $10,000. And then they're telling people that they need to wait until the 1st of March when the beta program is over, and then they will release the other $2.9 million worth of flash loan money, and then you can go trading to your heart's content. After the 1st of March, instead of getting 3 times your money in return for your $10,000 investment, it's going to be 2 times. So they're trying to create urgency for people to fork out $10,000. We've been watching, literally have been watching the money being siphoned out of this platform, transferred into Binance wallets, and never to be seen again. So yes, we might be silly buggers, and you might have thought, why are they causing so much disruption, and what was the point of it all? But when you've been doing this as long as I do, you're going to have a bit of fun as when you can. So just to reiterate that, I'm going to bring up a browser window. And in the browser window, I'm actually going to show you the main Boom, what we call the Boom wallet. Yeah, it's a bit hard to get the article on there, unfortunately. And I think they have a white screen on there at the moment. And we've only got, what have we got in the room? 18 people in the room. So I think the fun's over. But here is what we call a Boom wallet. And if you have a look at this wallet and we look at all the money that's going out of this wallet, you'll see large amounts of money, 33,000. 8 days ago, 143,000 little bits of money. 250 is probably a payment. 16,000, 24,000, 200,000. So that's all the money. And if you go to the in money, you'll actually see that normally sums. So they've been transferring money in from other wallets. It's probably not the best example. So we look at the income wallet. You can see people think this is real and people think this is genuine. And if you go to the incoming money, you can see just 9 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago, 21 minutes ago, 23 minutes ago, 28 minutes ago, 29 minutes ago, people are actually paying money into the main We Are All Satoshi wallets. This is people who don't do their research properly, who think this is a genuine scheme, but we know it's a Ponzi scheme. So it's heartbreaking when you see this. And if we go to the out money, you'll actually see sums ranging from 6,000, 1,000, 5,700, 17,000, 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, 10,000, 6,000, 2,000, 6,000, 6,000, 20,000, 1,000, 6,000, 40,000. This is money being lifted, put in, they're moving it from wallet to wallet to wallet to make it harder for people to track. So your money that you're depositing in here is getting siphoned out. There is no such thing as arbitrage trading, and it's just a load of bullshit. So that's my statement on that, and that's basically where I'll leave this meeting on that topic. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my live session here, and I'm going to put a timestamp in it just so I know when I finished talking about that. Right, back to the show. Now with the show, it's going to say that at 1 hour 17. We'll make it 18:00. Back to the show. All right, let's get back on topic. So what we were looking at is this court documents from We Are All Satoshi about, sorry, I'm getting a bit flustered now. This is the court documents for Sam, who's been charged. He started We Are All Satoshi. We Are All Satoshi is the the room that we're in. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is so funny. I'm watching the screen. We've got 16 people in here now, and the room has been totally butchered. Brenda Chunga, Sam Lee. This was part 2. Brenda Chunga had been informing the men in black and trying to trap Sam Lee. So she has pleaded guilty. She'll probably walk from this. She claims she only brought in $3.7 million from her dealings with HyperVerse. We have been told by her associates that she's been hiding the money in different places and the like. We can prove this. We can have people on a stand in court explaining this. So she's not going to get away with saying she only made $3.7 million. Kalpesh Patel lives in Dubai. It's rumored that he made $86 million from his involvement in HyperVerse. The Guardian newspaper has now published over 10 articles all about what's been happening with Hyper Capital, HyperFund, HyperVerse, HyperNation, HyperCosmos, HyperPlanet, Diversal. And then it's all gone into Dubai, and it started up as Stable Deo. And then we've got VidiLook 2, and then Vend, and now we've got Vend 4, and now we're relaunching Vend 5. These are just rinse and repeat Ponzi schemes. It goes on and on and on. So they have to put a stop to Sam Lee, and they've been trying to use Brenda Chunga to do so. But these court documents are really interesting because it actually shows that Brenda Chunga, when we looked at 44, Brenda Chunga was actually taking cash from people and then buying their accounts and setting up people's accounts. And from that, she was also charging a service for doing so. And they reckon she made $1.1 million by accepting funds directly from HyperVerse investors. And she was creating accounts knowing that these accounts were frozen and they couldn't do things. So she's in a lot of shit. So let's read number 45.
In addition, after Chunga reached VIP 5-star status, HyperFund paid Chunga's rewards at a higher rate, but she could only withdraw 0.25% per day. At that point, transferring.
And you might not be aware of this, but the leaders were able to withdraw money. And Bitcoin Rodney was actually charging people 30% of what they had in their HyperVerse wallets, transferring all their HU to his account, and then withdrawing it, taking an additional 30% off them. That's what I heard. Don't know if it's true or not. Remember, I've got a disclaimer. So, yeah, no, it's pretty cool.
Her hyper units to new investors for cash they deposited with Chunga facilitated her withdrawal of funds from HyperFund.
Yep. So just seeing if I can pick up anything I didn't know from here. There we go.
Collectively, through withdrawals from the HyperFund platform and by taking funds directly from HyperFund investors, Chunga received approximately $3.7 million. Among other things, Chunga spent that money on a lavish birthday party that doubled as a HyperFund recruitment event, as well as expensive custom-made jewelry and clothing, a BMW designer, handbags, a $1.2 million home in Savannah Park, Maryland, and a $1.1 million condominium in Dubai.
So Sam Lee was meant to be living in her apartment, so I heard, and the rent was being paid by a third party, which we believe was Hypertech Group or a criminal network of some sort. Scam Lee, I love it. I'm watching the screen, guys. This is absolute laugh. Bob, you should pop into the room of mine if you want. I know you're busy at the moment. Bob will be, we called him Tug Man when he first started, but if you want to pop in here and tell us what you're doing, it'd be great. I've actually gone on with my show because I want to get this document off my desk. What have we got? Right, so up to 47. Did I play that? I don't think I did.
Although Chunga's ill-gotten gains were considerable, she embellished them further to recruit investors. For example, in October 2021, she wrote to a prospective investor, "I'm making over $5 million a year with my one crypto platform, and I've helped 7 people make $2 million and 100s make 6 figures within the past 10 months. So whenever you're sick, ready, I'll give you the blueprint." The investor later followed up asking for a link for HyperFund. However, Chunga's statements were false. She did not actually make $5 million through HyperFund, as she knew or recklessly disregarded.
Wow, that's cool. So her claims were false. So everything she was telling, so you can get done for making false claims. So you've got to back up what you say. And those disclaimers, even the ones I read out, don't mean shit, really. If you're going to say that Brenda Chunga is blah, 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 and you got to make sure you can back up your claims. And I've got lots of videos to back up my claims. And somebody already tried to sue me in the New Zealand High Courts for $3.8 million and didn't succeed. They filed a discontinuance an hour and a half before the case was, did cost me $36,000 to get to that point though. Anyway, let's have a listen.
The rebrandings and collapse of HyperFund. HyperFund to HyperVerse, 48. In the fall of 2021, HyperFund rebranded itself as HyperVerse. HyperVerse was officially launched on December 5th, 2021. Part of the new HyperVerse narrative was that the Hypertech Group was creating a virtual world to connect people in the HyperVerse ecosystem, which you would enter using your virtual avatar.
Oh my God, yes, virtual avatars. They were friggin' exciting, weren't they? Yep, so that was did they talk about Hibernation in there? Hypertech Group was a virtual world connecting Hyperverse ecosystem. I am listening, I promise. You'll have my full attention soon. I'm just watching stuff on the screen beside me. It's not good. Some people from We Are Satoshi are now trying to cover up the screen.
During this launch event, which took place live online and was recorded and then made available publicly online, HyperVerse presented a new supposed CEO of HyperVerse.
Stephen Reese Lewis. Oh, well, we managed to find him. When are they going to go after Stephen Reese Lewis? Let's find out. That'd be absolutely awesome, though. I mean, we're having a lot of victory at the moment. As I say, we've been doing this for over 2 years, but people are now getting arrested. And we had the Anzac crypto whalers remove all their videos off their YouTube channel just last night. So
Stephen Reese Lewis, in a recorded video played during the launch event, Lewis thanked everyone for their participation and for giving him the chance to share more about HyperVerse, our operations, and future direction. After repeatedly invoking a prominent social media company's rebranding, CEO Lewis explained that HyperVerse offered a virtual world with new business opportunities and the development of a crypto asset, characterized as a native token, called HVT. In reality, the person presented as Lewis was an actor playing a role of a fabricated character. He was not the CEO of HyperVerse.
I'm ringing up George Marcus. I want to see if he answers the phone. And then we're going to ring up Yvonne Henry, just while we listen to these things. Where's my phone gone? Let's ring up. Where are we, Yvonne? Yvonne never answers the phone. We'll ring up Kate now. You should be able to hear that, I think. We'll see if they answer. Yep, so Stephen Reese Lewis, he was the dirty dog. And we're ringing up Yvonne Henry at the moment.
As with HyperFund, Lee was still at the forefront of the management of the new HyperVerse iteration. Lee knew, or was reckless in not knowing, that the person presented as Lewis was not actual Stephen Lewis and was not the actual CEO of HyperVerse.
We normally get an answering machine message for Yvonne. She's too scared to pick up her phone. Hey, Yvonne.
Hello.
Yeah, how you doing, Yvonne? It's ABC News here. I was wondering if you'd be available for an interview today.
Who is it?
ABC News?
No, I'm all good, thanks.
No, can we talk to you for a minute, please? Because we've had some pretty serious She's all good, thanks. I love it. All right, let's ring her up again. I'll say we got disconnected. Here we go.
Hi, you've called Yvonne. I'm not here, obviously. Leave a message or send me a text. Bye.
Please leave a detailed message after the tone. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hello, Yvonne. This is Danny D. Heck, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. Look, we would love to interview you and have you on our show. We'd also noticed that you've tried removing all your videos. It's probably a little bit late for that at the moment, but we have also given all your details, your home address, your phone numbers to ABC News, and they'll probably be knocking on your door. I'm a little surprised they haven't knocked on your door yet, but because of Sam's charges in what do they call that, in the USA, and also the pending charges about to happen in Australia, it looks like you and your merry men, the Anzac crypto whalers, are probably going to be in a lot of strife. I would recommend selling everything you had really quickly and getting a one-way ticket to go to Dubai so you can live with your boyfriend, Sam Lee. And all your videos that you had on your YouTube channel, don't you worry, they're under lock and key and they're in a safe place. You have a fantastic day. Happy scamming. So that's Yvonne. Anyway, let's read this one.
The launch event also featured a recording of statements by Lee wherein he introduced himself as the CEO and founder of Blockchain Global and chairman of the Hypertech Group, discussed his background, including being one of the first miners of Bitcoin, and explained that the advent of Metaverse was a new way of having everyone participate and be a creator. Lee closed by saying that it was very exciting to be a part of a team to provide my knowledge to this ecosystem, and I look forward to a great 2022.
Yeah, so that was when he was involved. Hope you're listening. 52. I'm ringing all 5 of them at the moment. So we're ringing up George Marcus, Yvonne Henry again, Carl Miller, Kate Longley, and also Janet, which I can never get her last name correct, Janet Hort, Hort. And none of them are answering for some reason. Don't know why that is.
HyperVerse presentations posted online and presented on Zoom attempted to tie the project directly to the metaverse and discussed creating an avatar to live inside a new virtual financial world.
Yep, you could actually go off and live in the metaverse, and they even had vessels going, and you could buy yellow NFTs, purple NFTs, and platinum NFTs. So we're just ringing Janet at the moment.
Mechanically, the back office transition from HyperFund to HyperVerse appears to have been automatic for HyperFund investors, though the HyperFund website itself was disabled and investors were required to use the new HyperVerse website.
That's right. They just they keep launching things. Because obviously it went from Hypertech Group. They actually did presentations using Hypertech Group, and you'll see that in this very document. And then they went to Hypercapital, and they went from Hypercapital to HyperFund, because Hypercapital started getting labeled as a Ponzi scheme, and then HyperFund was where they really got all the traction. And then once everything started going AWOL, they would open up like HyperVerse, and then they'd tell everyone that they'd be transferred over. They had to go, when they went from HyperFund to HyperVerse, people had to transfer things over. Or was that HyperVerse to HyperNation? And if they didn't, it was just a shocker. So, yes, had enough fun there. So now we'll
the
go.
HyperVerse 1.0 rewards program made similar promises to HyperFund. 1. Could supposedly earn 0.5% per day up to 3 times your initial investment in 600 days. It also offered a university-level blockchain education.
Well, Jim R. was the guy that went through that blockchain education. He reckons that's how he knew everything about blockchain. He was
when HyperVerse 2.0 was launched in or about April 2022, the membership package changed to supposedly earning 0.3% per day up to 4 times your initial investment, but it would now take 1,333 days to reach that goal instead of 600.
Yep, so you had to wait for 1,330 days, well, they said 33 days, which is quite interesting. 3 days didn't make any difference. And also they were going to get 4 times your return on investment. So that was a massive difference. So the wait time was going to be twice as much. They were hoping that burn rate of the money was going to last as long as possible. And obviously it didn't work.
Notably, in or about November-December 2021, during the transition process from HyperFund to HyperVerse, investors were experiencing difficulties withdrawing their rewards. By February-March 2022, investors were not able to make withdrawals at all. Promoters attempted to explain away the withdrawal problems as technological issues with the new HyperVerse back-office platform.
Yep, and now we introduce Mr. H.
HyperVerse to HyperNation 57. In late May 2022, HyperVerse was rebranded as HyperNation. The new narrative claimed that blockchain technology would help to combat inequality and injustice in HyperNation's new decentralized government. The narrator was a person in a hooded suit, wearing black gloves and a gold mask who called himself MR.H.
Funny, I spent a whole day. I downloaded 40 videos with Mr. H in it, and then I spiced them all together to prove to people that they didn't have just one Mr. H. In fact, they had multiple. Well, they had about 3 Mr. H's available. I'm just posting in the chat room. So if you have just called into the meeting, we've managed to actually take over the Zoom meeting completely of the primetime, what do they call it? Zoom meeting for We Are All Satoshi, which is a scam that's all related to this, and we've caused a lot of havoc there. So no doubt there's going to be a few dregs of people in there trying to fight the ship, wonder what's going on, but we'll take the credit for that. So yes, we had Mr. H. So that was ridiculous, Mr. H. And it's similar to We Are All Satoshi, who brought out what they called Mr. Satoshi, and he was advising them on how to set up their whatever it is, and he doesn't even go onto Zoom. So they create these people that are absolutely stupid to come on here and talk to their community to convince them that this is the real deal. It's just unreal, and they get away with it somehow.
In HyperNation, the membership packages were labeled as so-called non-fungible tokens or NFTs, with each membership level represented as a different colored NFT box: yellow, green, purple, and platinum. Investors could use a limited percentage of their HyperVerse rewards to purchase the NFT, but they would be forced to surrender the rest of the previously earned rewards. And to transfer an investor's multi-level marketing downline from HyperVerse to the HyperNation platform, the investor was required to buy the $10,000 so.
Yep, that's right. I'm just catching up on that. Yeah, they had this yellow NFT that you could buy for $10,000, and then you could bring over your team structure. So not the team, just the team structure. So that means when the team moved over with you, they would carry on getting the commission structure. So they had to buy a $10,000 package. They could keep the same structure of what they had, but then they had to go back and convince other people in their team to move over to the other platform. And the other platform wasn't going to secure the money that you'd previously made. In fact, they were going to one day figure out how to bring the money over from one platform to the other. What they call these days is a bridge, but that never happened. And you had to invest new money. Like you had to spend $100. They went for $100 of people to buy a yellow NFT so you could get your ticket to the metaverse. And then if you obviously spent $10,000, you could theoretically hope like hell that you could convince your team to move over with you. Now, why they did that? Because they needed money. They were bleeding money like a bitch. So they thought this would be a way to get money from the people that had already made money in the past, because they might have made literally 200,000. They could have made 300,000. And now they were saying to people, oh, if you want to be part of the new HyperNation, pay $100, or if you're a big player, then give us $10,000, and this was going to use, that money would have been used to pay the new people that were still trying to get to sign up on the platform.
Called NFT. On September 30th, 2022, HyperNation announced to investors that Chunga was appointed to be the HyperNation sales manager for the US.
That's right. I'm going to read a couple here at the same time.
The collapse of HyperFund, 59. The challenges HyperVerse investors had withdrawing funds in February-March 2022 were never resolved, 60. In June 2022, the Who Exchange announced it had suspended withdrawals from HyperVerse after receiving a heavy volume of withdrawal requests and stated that it intended to restart transactions within 72 hours.
Yep. They made all these claims, never accentuated. I mean, I'm a bit tired of it, but I kind of want to read this document, have this document online for my own benefit.
While it is not clear if investors were able to make withdrawals after the announced 72-hour window, by November 2022, the Who Exchange stopped working altogether, which effectively ended HyperFund, as that was the only possible way HyperFund investors could make withdrawals. Investors were not able to redeem investments after November 2022.
Nope, no more money going out then. I'm drawing my name on the screen over here. It's really good. You should try it sometime.
From inception to collapse, HyperFund raised over $1.7 billion worldwide. Subsequent events, 63. Lee continued to be centrally involved with HyperFund in all of its iterations, even after it collapsed.
Fun. Not concentrating, am I? Right, here we go. Let's go.
In early 2023, Lee began appearing on videos with former HyperFund promoters to meet with HyperFund investors who were expecting to learn details about the recovery plan for them to receive their 1x, that is, their initial investment amount, 65. In July 2023, Lee appeared on a video with a former HyperFund promoter announcing he was planning to rebuild HyperVerse, in his words, for reals this time. 4 reals this time.
And these are the videos that they were talking about. You see I've got them here. And I'm going to play that video there of her in a baseball cap after this. Only 29 minutes long. Yeah, this is real this time. I mean, oh, for God's sake. I mean, is it real this time? It's unreal, isn't it? Here we go.
To date, it does not appear as though Lee has relaunched HyperVerse. See defendants disseminated material misrepresentations in connection with the offer and sale of HyperFund memberships.
I know it's still going. I know. I think Bob's drunk at the moment in there because he's like a...
While the very nature of HyperFund was a fraud in which the entity lacked any reasonable basis to pay the promised returns, many of the specific representations proliferated by HyperFund and repeated by Chunga and others used to lure investors to join HyperFund were also false. These false representations were statements regarding, among other things, 1. HyperFund supposed
in the house.
2. Lee's success with blockchain global and its ties to HyperFund.
Who's that, Joe? Joe's shitting himself. He's trying to call Zoom, but Zoom's closed.
Larger scale crypto asset mining. And 5. HyperVerse CEO.
I'll shut that up. So what? That was brilliant. So they've obviously set up the meeting and then walked away from it. And then obviously we've come in and seen the vulnerabilities. And well, did the lady who started up the meeting crash after she started it up somehow?
Yeah, and Zoom doesn't open till morning, so good luck.
Yeah, so I don't think there's many there now. But that means that means they won't be able to use that Zoom ID. We kind of want to yeah, so what's that? I'm trying to get rid of the annotations now.
No. What the flaw is in Zoom is just keep sending what's the biggest video file you have? There's garbage.
Oh, okay. My videos.
Well, you have one that's like 5 gigabytes.
Yeah.
Send it to shut down Zoom. Just keep jamming them with videos because they'll have to download it.
You mean Zoom?
Yeah, you could send files through Zoom.
Oh, right, up to 5 gigabytes. I
think that, yeah. So just keep sending it to him and jam up his hard drive.
Whose hard drive?
Shut down Zoom.
We're going to send Zoom files to shut down Zoom, and they're a video company. I don't think it's going to happen, mate. We need another strategy.
What? No, I'm sending 1 gigabyte files. He has like 10 in the queue.
Okay, so they just opened it up, and they'll have a way of blocking that.
No, you can't, because the chat's open.
Who are you talking about, mate? So what are you saying?
So select, shut down Zoom.
Yeah. Hold on, I can't get rid of the bloody annotation. How do you get rid of the freaking screen?
There's a button on the left. It says delete. It looks like a trash can.
Okay, I'm trying to shut. Oh, I see. No, all right. So you go. What do? You go shut down Zoom. Oops. Back to meeting. Oh no, fuel. Okay, so I'm in there now.
Okay, go to chat.
Hold on a minute. I'll bring it up on the screen. I'm running another meeting here, but that's more fun. I was yelling. I got tired of the noise. It was quite funny.
If you think this is gonna outlast everybody, I'm like connected like 10 times over.
Well, there's only 16 people in there now, and I'm one of them. So that's 5 real people, and then we've got
1, 2, 3. Let's say 6. I'm in 6 times.
So, so what do? You go to
chat.
Chat. All right. Yep. Chat.
And you see the little icon that looks like a looks like a And then you hit my computer.
Yeah, and go file.
And then find the biggest file you have.
Okay.
That's garbage.
Yeah. I'll just do. I don't know. I'll just
you can select up to 10 files. So select your 10 biggest files.
I know what I'll do. I'll find the one of Sam. Can't I do that? If I do photo.
Yeah, I've been sending stable DAO stuff to him.
Well, I could probably do that one. You Can't Handle the Truth by Sam. Oh, it's only photos. Oh, no, I'll do Sharvis. I've got Sharvis photos. Well, they won't turn up in the chat, though, will they?
No, but he'll get the file. He'll start downloading to his computer.
All right, let's have a look. Done. And now I'm sending all those off. Oh, no, they turn up in the chat.
The files?
Yeah,
Not if you select Joe. If you can pick the name, I'd select Joe.
Oh, right. Oh, well, that Joe, it was probably Carl. Well, probably not Carl.
No, it can't be Carl. Carl wouldn't figure out how to share a screen and lock it.
So Joe's still here. I see what you're saying. Okay, so let's have a bit of... Well, just if you do the group chat, they all get them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can do all chat, and then everybody will get it'll show up in the chat.
We'll do a boomerang. Give them one of those. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny, isn't it? They're what a bunch of idiots. So, I mean, we'll send them one of Richard, one of Sam. Whoops, we'll do a Sam photo. Another Sam photo. I wish I had I wish you could upload videos. That'd be quite cool.
You can.
Yeah, but you can't. They don't turn up on the screen, do they?
No, it'll just go to the room, and then anybody can download that video.
Oh,
I'm sending the video direct. You could send the video direct to Joe. Joe.
All right, I'm going to do a file. What I'll do is I'll put one of the files.
Look at the biggest file I have that Zoom will allow.
Nope.
I'm just going to keep sending it.
That file you break up. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my YouTube folder where my files are.
You can see he's still desperate. Like he comes on the screen every once in a while, like, I can't stop it. I can't stop it.
There we
All
go.
right, so now we're going to go to shorts.
Everybody, flood Joe. Flood Joe.
Goodness me.
Yeah, shut down Zoom. Nice rename, Joe. I already know it's you.
Copy. So who's the preacher man then?
That's Joe. That's Joe's computer because he has his mics on.
Oh, right. I see. You're good on this. Okay, so we need to go to, surely I can, browse. I can go share. Oh, I see. So I can go to my desktop. Yeah.
And just keep...
I can send the document. I'll send the PDF file. That's good. All right, then I'll go file. So now they've got their own PDF file. I'll go browse.
Just keep sending stuff.
My phone, browse. Oh, look, you can do everything. Let's go desktop. And I'll see what files are there. I do a recording of, yeah, that's good. All right, let's have a look. I've got a Stephen Reese Lewis video. That will do it. Oh, that's a screenshot. No, that won't do it. Strike that from the record.
Just find the biggest video you have and just keep sending it.
Yeah, I think I've got a screenshot of what's his name? George Marcus chatting up some girl on the beach to take him for a ride. Oh dear. Oh, the things you do for entertainment these days. It's getting pretty sad, isn't it?
And he has to stay in the room because otherwise we have complete control.
Yeah. All right, I'm trying to find a video now. Zoom.
I'm gonna send this video. This is a good video for him to watch.
Hey, that guy, SHREYAS. I'm sure you gave me his details. I rang him up and he goes, "How'd you get my number?" And I didn't know who he was. And I said, "Well, you're
which guy?
Hey?
Which guy?
Well, you have to write his name down, I think, but SHREYAS.
Yeah, somebody contacted me and they're like, "Oh," and they were promoting it, definitely scam. So I was like, "Oh, call me," and I give him your number.
Oh. Yeah, well, this guy, he said I rang him at 6 o'clock in the morning. I put the voice chat in the room. So here we go. Here,
oh,
so now
Crypto Tech is here. The rocket genius.
Oh, brilliant! Well, let's get Sam in the window here. So I've just found a wee video. I wonder if I can do two. I'll see if I can put a video. So it's going to take a wee while to download it. What's the limit on them?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Yeah, I'm going to select 5 videos, which are massive. And then that will be, they're all of Sam Lee, though, but they're sort of what I've got handy at the moment. Oh, dear. Things that we do, eh?
You know Chavez is probably getting ringed off the hook right now.
Well, because they're getting new Zoom meeting links, this is probably someone's from the We Are Satoshi group that have a Zoom account, because we went in here 20 minutes earlier and it was already open. So they might have left it open thinking, oh, we'll just leave it going and people can pop in at their leisure. But every time you get a new Zoom account, you got to set it up, especially if you're running meetings. So somebody must be in charge of it, but obviously no one.
So that means it's either Sleepy Grace. Here, how about this?
I'll just see if I can get this this meeting thingy loaded. Yeah, but absolutely crack up, man. Probably going to take too long. The problem if I send you these files, it's going to take just as long. Wonder if I can. I've got to download them to my phone. You see, that's the problem. Yeah, but that's a bit of a crack up, bit of a victory for the I think we'll take the credit for that. I can't wait to listen to tomorrow's meeting to see what they say about. Oh, we had a few problems with the primetime meeting. We got invaded by a Russian guy called Robert. Did you hear them at the start though? Rob was doing really well. I actually cut him off a bit, but because
I missed the beginning. So
it's funny. He's going. It does not add up. It does not add up. He said. You did your update and all those figures changed. And they go, oh, it will update in time. It was really quite good. And then I chirped in every now and again. So I agree with him. It's very, very good point. Very good point where this boy made good points. It was quite funny. Had to be there. People probably think we're mental who were listening to this at the moment, but this is what we do to entertain ourselves. Yeah. So what's happening in the room now? Anything exciting? Nothing?
Yeah, I'm posting Kate Longley.
Oh, good. Yeah. Absolutely crazy.
You know, Joe's probably like, what the fudge is going on?
I'm trying to get through my document here with Brenda Chunga. So we'll have to I've got it on the screen next to me, but I'm just waiting for one of them.
Hey, you want to post out in the room, post Chavez's modeling career.
Yeah, I've done that. I've already posted those. Did you see those? I've got those photos up there of him next to his bicycle. Crazy shenanigans. Anyway, I'm going to get back to my meeting. We've had our commercial break. Slides, screen share, Samuel Lee. All right, I'm going to read another paragraph. Here we go. All right, we're up to paragraph 68. Whoops, T. Try that one.
The slide decks that HyperFund created that Chunga and others used to promote. HyperFund prominently featured Digitalx, a company that provides access to crypto assets to wholesale investors, as one of the 4 companies that comprised the Hypertech Group conglomerate. One example of HyperFund's claimed affiliation with Digitalx is the following slide, which appeared in a presentation Chunga recorded on or about January 16th, 20,213, :
Yeah, because Digital X was a company that no one really investigated, but from my memory, they had something to do with the share market. Because they acquired that company, they claimed that they had been listed on the share market, but it was a load of bullshit. Yeah, so that's quite interesting. They've actually found these old slides. So it just shows you can't put together a pitch deck and pitch it to people, make a whole bunch of lies and just walk away with it, even if it was 2 years ago. And they knew exactly what they were doing. So, look,
Susan Goldstein is here as Libby Love.
Susan, is she? Oh, she's back. We should talk to her. We need to give the we need to give them this.
Look at her, you can tell it's Susan. Look, she's like trying to cover her cam.
Give her that link there and tell them to click on that. That's the one that's going to be fun. I'm going to just see if I can put that in the chat room, and then we get them in here.
Sure. Hi, Susan.
Yeah, no. My mates just found the article. Where of me, Rob? I'll send that to Rob. Yeah, I don't think that other idea of yours is going to work. The files are too big for the phone, unfortunately. There we go. Copy. We'll get them in here. We'll invite them in here. That'll be fun. I'll give them the link. They won't be able to help themselves. So let's forget about that. And let's go to here. Come talk to Danny. Oh, look at that spammer. That's a good one. Who's that? Is that yours? Is that Thomas? I bet Thomas is in here now.
You see the pictures?
I thought they might
You
have
like
been
my judge picture?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, Judge Judy.
Judge Grace.
They can't keep running these meetings. I mean, they think they're policing them, but they can't keep this up anymore. You know what I mean? Like, they're buggered, aren't they? I mean, they must work it out eventually.
Chavez is probably sleeping and he's going to wake up to 1,000 calls.
Yeah.
Did Carl? We got bad shit going down. This is your chief CEO.
Grace will say, this is why we need to keep the security high, guys. This is why we need you to turn your cameras on. You know, this is what they'll friggin' do. So it's friggin' amazing. So is Jojo installed here? Oh, Crypto Tech. So is that us?
No, that's their guy.
Wow, that's funny. So Joe's in here, right? Well, yeah, Joe. What's his name? Joe, isn't it?
Shut down Zoom is Joe, I think, right?
Well, Crypto
or Dennis
Tech.
Miller. I forget. He's sometimes he's that picture.
So who else have we got in here? We've got Roy. Roy's in here. Is that you?
I will not say who Rory is.
Yeah, I know who it is. Mike Lincoln. Is that like Lincoln Lawyer? Have you watched that Lincoln Lawyer before?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Hey? Shut down room. Is Jesus still going off?
Yep.
Oh God, this won't shut up. Suppose if I turn it back here.
What time? I'm trying to think of what time zone he's in. Eventually, he's gonna have to turn the TV off.
Another absolutely free. That's 2 bottles for only $39.95.
I want you to sleep with the TV on.
Include a bottle
Oh
of
my
vitamin
God.
XLD3 for whole body health, absolutely free on your first order. Order now and get 2 bottles of Mega XL plus
Salutations,
vitamin
Ponzi
XL.
It's gonna be good because I'll scare the shit out of him later.
The Avengers have been observing.
Oh my goodness. And my camera, can you see me? Because I've got it on, but I can't actually see me. Well, I've got my camera on, but you can't actually see me. It's for some reason. It's because I don't even know his name. Oh, I know why. Because I've got self view on. Oh, so if I turn self view on, that's going to be cool because then I can actually see me. Because I turn that off because I don't see my
in their weave.
who I am. So how do you do that? Let's go back here. Go to settings. Silly me. Here I am wondering why I can't be seen and my camera's on. So all this time I've had my camera off, and now I've got it. So now you can see me. Oh, there we go. So I might as well turn that on. I'll sit this over here, and I'll get back on with the show. There we go. Hi, guys. So I'll be at the top of the list then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. We'll keep that going, and we'll keep the show going. All right, I've got to carry on now, but I've got this... So who's the people that are coming on with their cameras on? Like Love James. Shut down
Libby Love. Libby Love was Susan Goldstein.
Yeah. Wow. Absolutely.
There's Joe again. Look at him with this weird TV. He must have a portable camera.
Well, I might just have to draw on the screen here. We're just going to say.
He shut down Zoom. Look at him. Yeah, what do you do? Flip his webcam upside down because he's looking at the TV, which is stupid because that's a flag against your own Zoom account. You can't broadcast TV.
Oh, that'd be good.
Oh, didn't think about that person who said they're recording the room, huh? Love Jones. You didn't think about that one, huh?
Right. So where are we on this presentation that you guys are probably falling asleep on? Got 10 people in the chat room. Let's see if we can get it back.
Let's see. Me.
Lisa's here too.
Have you seen what you're doing on the whiteboard in there?
At least I'm the one that looks professional here. I'm the one with the recording gear. You guys just
who's this Todd guy?
Himself from the crowd. This was a special moment in time where Jesus had to choose men from the crowd himself.
Yeah, repent to Jesus.
So I'm guessing they'll have a new meeting ID tomorrow. Oh, laugh. All right, let me carry on with my meeting. You guys
report meeting.
Okay.
Crypto tech.
Can you do that? Can you record on? You can't record onto their because I thought of that. If you could record onto their own YouTube channel, it was funny, wouldn't it? So stop video. Yeah, captions, share, notes, more.
I'm gonna flag it for broadcasting television.
Yeah. Meeting settings.
Broadcasting the live TV on Zoom call.
Yeah, background effects. Oh, that's handy. You can have background effects that go blur. Filter. I'm going to be an avatar. I'll be a kitty cat.
Who is this person like sitting on camera?
Don't know, but now I'm a kitty cat. Can you see me being a kitty cat?
Yeah.
Well,
who is Andy?
Funny enough, can you hear me talking? Because it's plugged in. It should be able to. My mic's off, so theoretically, my mic's off, so everyone can hear me talking. So I'm just going to carry on doing this here. All right, quiet the cheap seats here. Let's see what we've got. We've got warning. What do we got? We've got warning. Please be careful when putting your username out there on Telegram, as someone may turn and change your password as received an email request to change your password verification. What the hell is that about?
Because we're posted in the room everyone's username.
Oh, right. So have they got announcements going on about this? Because that would be dumb if they did, because everyone's just going to go in here and have a look. Is it possible? Oh, meeting in progress. Special. Oh, I know what to do, because I've got Boomerang access, but can I only admins can post. Bugger. That would be cool, though, if you had access to post to their groups that there's a meeting going on and come in. Oh, dear. Did Danny take the day off? No, not this time. Lisa, what have I got? YouTube, Boomerang. Oh, that'd be funny. Oh, that would be funny if the US crowd decided to broadcast the meeting. Sorry, the Russia. That would be funny. What have we got? Russia decided to broadcast this meeting. This would be cool. Earn 3% a month with Volt Horizon. Oh my God. Have you seen Joe's stuff? Have you seen like Joe's YouTube channel? He's got shorts. Earn 3% per month with Volt Horizon. I mean, is he absolutely marketing that? What a cruel bastard. What a lonely old man. He's going to grow old with no friends. Oh, so this is the video that he was trying to play, which is all made up out of bullshit, shit, crap and wheeze. I see. It's all coming together. Anyway, this is not my scheduled meeting, and I've made a real shambles of this one. If you're watching this trying to make head or tail, or you really did tune up to learn about Brenda Chunga and Sam Lee, I've bitterly disappointed you. Grace on the run. She's abandoned the US Prime last few days. Yep. So let's see what Rob says. She was at the meeting. I just keep thinking of Rob. Oh, you're terrible. I think we've got to go back and play Rob. Okay. Can we go back and play Rob in real time? Let's go do that. That's going to be more fun than what we're doing right now. Right. So we've got our meeting, which was all about Brenda Chunga and Sam Lee. And let's have a listen. All right. All right. I want to hear Rob. Here we go. This Russian guy was asking questions I couldn't answer. Pascal has problems. Yeah, I said they are paid. Kind of wonky. Jesus. Why can't I get my picture on the screen? So it kind of went AWOL from there, to be honest. I don't know if you can hear that. Oh, actually, could you hear anything I'm saying? Oh, damn. Oh, silly me, guys. I've just spent the waste of time. I'm no good at doing this live stuff, but we will go back to it. It was just, I was just listening to this. Sorry, guys. God. Hold up. What do we got?
I invite people to go check it out themselves, do their own maths.
Rob, you're brave.
Pascal did a Zoom the other day where he actually demonstrated that there could be a discrepancy, so people should go by what is in the on.
I agree with Rob. This better?
I'm just telling you what Pascal said. He did a training that demonstrated that. Pardon me?
Pascal has problems. Pascal has problems. I'm back.
And I think a lot of, I think a lot of people are making guesses, but let's do the maths. How can profit materialize from nowhere? And if you do the maths from when it come back from maintenance, average profit percentage only 1.16%.
Check the blockchain. Check your blockchain transactions. That is what Pascal suggested. Add it all up and see.
Here's what happened next. Jesus was getting into the boat. The man who had been possessed begged to go with him. Jesus did not let him, but told him to go home to his father and tell him all the Lord had done for him and how much he has had to do. So the man went away and told in the Decapolis all that Jesus had done for him, and all the people were amazed.
Hold it.
After a wild day of witnessing miracles, the disciples had to get.
So they've got Jesus in the background, but we actually managed to get him before Jesus.
No, I'm saying the figures on the Boomerang website since it came back from maintenance until now are only showing 1.16% since it's been back up. But the figures before it got down show profit about 177,000. Profit when it came back up with normal trades being done, 225,000 or so. So, Chavez needs to explain, that's all.
But the trainers have been trading.
They are paid. They're paid, they are. They are paid, they are.
Some of them weren't trading because the boomerang was kind of wonky there.
Do your own mess. Great t-shirts. Love it. Seriously, guys, this is a scam. It's a shame. And I just wish we could help more people. That's what we do this for. It doesn't add up.
Okay. So you're one of them who believes that the whole thing's a scam, and that is what you're trying to do here?
Yeah. No, we've actually got an expert. We've got two experts that have really looked at this extensively, and we've actually gone through 20,000 lines of code, and we've found that the arbitrage trading is actually done manually, and it's not connected to anything to do with arbitrage trading. We're watching people being paid. We've got, if you go to my channel and you look at Crypto G's, if you look at Crypto G's video, you can see
promoting your own shit.
And I mean, you can over-talk me, but it's not right.
Promoting your own shit.
No, we're not promoting our own shit. I've got things to do with my time.
I think I need to shut down this.
This is not right.
Yeah,
because you guys need to listen to the facts. You guys need to listen to the
Shut it down. Shut it down.
Right now.
84, 93, 100.
Shut it down.
And this is disgusting, really. I mean, here we are in there. They think that we're doing this for YouTube clicks. I've spent this is 7 hours in front of the computer here talking to you guys about exposing scams, and this one in particular. We'll go in there and we say it doesn't add up. They just don't want to listen to the truth. And there's still, we've literally, I say we, but you can go in there and join the room. There's currently only 18 people left, 17 people left. And you can go in there and say whatever you like. They've now played Jesus in the background on the TV, so it drowns out our sounds, but they can't get hold of their meeting again. So it's a bit of a shambles. But anyway, that was quite good. We got in there. When Rob said that, there was about 60 people in there. But all they want to do is run away with their tail between their legs. And we've literally got people, all sorts of shit going on. All right, guys, sorry about the silent bit there. When I flip between screens, it doesn't show everything I want it to, unfortunately. But I do want to finish this stupid document of this court case because I'm on a mission. So this will be a long video, but I will try and timestamp it, as I often say.
However, the Hypertech Group was not in fact affiliated with Digital X, and on February 15th, 2021, Digitax disavowed any association with the Hypertech Group by issuing a notice of non-affiliation with Hypertech Group and its directors, related entities and affiliates. Specifically, Digitax stated, Digitax has recently become aware that Hypertech Group Co. Limited and or its directors, related entities and affiliates is using the Digitax brand to promote and/or provide digital asset management products and services to global consumers over the internet through such websites as hypertechgrub.com, hypertechtradingwordpress.com, youtube.com, and facebook.com. Digitax is not affiliated, associated, or connected with Hypertech Group Co. Limited in any way, or any of its directors, related entities, affiliates, businesses, or products, including HyperFund Global and the Hyper Community. Emphasis in original.
Emphasis in original. Let's see if we can go down to here.
Lee's success with Blockchain Global and its ties to HyperFund. 71. Repeatedly in presentations throughout 2021, promotional materials generated by HyperFund and used by Chunga touted HyperFund's strong connection with Blockchain Global, the Australian company Lee founded and served as CEO. During the HyperVerse launch event on or about December 5, 2021, Lee introduced himself as the CEO of Blockchain Global. 72. In HyperVerse presentations that followed, Chunga continued to stress the connection with Blockchain Global and why this connection supposedly gave credibility to the HyperFund project and increased the safety of the investment. For example, during a promotional video recorded on or about December 13th, 2021, while displaying a PowerPoint slide titled Credibility, Chunga discussed Blockchain Global's.
All right, so something that's just popped up on my screen. We were looking for this. If we have a look at the screen here, this is the organizational chart for Hypertech Group, and it was actually in the court documents. So this is something that I want to get. So this is absolutely brilliant. So let's just go full screen on that, full screen on that, and we're going to take a screenshot. Oh my goodness, that there is the graph that broke the straw on the camel's back. That shows everything that we ever want. Organizational chart. Oh, that's exciting. So let's get back to you guys. I don't know what that looks like on your screen, but it looks pretty cool. But the fact is that is the whole organizational chart that we've been looking for. We've scoured around the internet for that, looking for that for ages. And now we have the document that I've been looking for, which is just friggin' exciting. So exporting that. Right, I'm going to make it a PDF. I'm just doing this in real time because you guys have been here for a while. You don't mind if I do this. Let's see what's happening to Jesus.
Long ago, Luke 10:13.
After
Jesus fed the huge crowd somewhere near Bethsaida, he instructed his disciples to get into a boat and go ahead of him while he dismissed the crowd. After this, Jesus goes up on a hillside to pray. Later that night, the boat was in the middle of the lake, and he was alone.
Wow, that's exciting. So what I'm doing with this is, if I go to Millernote, which is here, and I log into there, and like I go to this graph quite a lot. So this is my database of good stuff, and the fact that I've got this picture. What are we saying there, Susie? I'm going to go back to homepage. Seriously though, Rob, Danny, you got works out that you know the people. They got the works out that you know those people. Who really heard them something to think about. Yeah. Okay, I think what you're saying is we got the word out there and we did actually get them thinking. We would have saved somebody hopefully today. Yeah, this is really exciting for me. I mean, you know, like I do this all day long and I'm always gathering information. But if you look here, right, we have just gone from that one, reading that document, I've gone from this blurry document to this crystal clear PNG file. So I'm very happy about that. That will be in my my folder for a while, and I'm going to make sure I get rid of the wrong one. But now I have a clear document which I can use in thumbnails, and it shows you the whole background of this company, which is just absolutely incredible. So really happy about that. Just wanted to share that with you guys. Okay. So if you want to have a look at that, if you're an Avenger, you can find that on the, so here's all the hyper mining, hyper show, hyper mall, hyper news, HyperFund, HyperPay, HyperTalk, HyperCash, hyper everything. So this website, which I probably went here and overlooked it, to be honest, but it just shows everything. And it's a beautiful thing because it shows Hypertech Group and Sam Lee all as one, and it's just absolutely brilliant. So did I cover that? And that did I just cover that? I think we did do 1771 because it gave me the website address, didn't it? So this, where did I see that? Where is the website? So repeatedly presentation 21. So I just want to, what I'm doing from listening to this, and I'm hoping that people who are interested in this document are actually also listening to it. I don't want to miss a paragraph. So I just want to see. Yeah, no, I haven't done these paragraphs. Well, if I have, I want to listen to them again because I listen to these and I learn intel, and it's really important. So let's have a wee listen here.
Lee's success with Blockchain Global and its ties to HyperFund. 71. Repeatedly in presentations throughout 2021, promotional materials generated by HyperFund and used by Chunga touted HyperFund's strong connection with Blockchain Global, the Australian company Lee founded and served as CEO. During the HyperVerse launch event on or about December 5, 2021, Lee introduced himself as the CEO of Blockchain Global. 72. In HyperVerse presentations that followed, Chunga continued to stress the connection with Blockchain Global and why this connection supposedly gave credibility to the HyperFund project and increased the safety of the investment. For example, during a promotional video recorded on or about December 13, 2021, while displaying a PowerPoint slide titled Credibility, Chunga discussed Blockchain Global's.
See, they use specific days and times. They don't need to go through all of them. You only need to slip up once and present information to people incorrectly about a scam in your toast. Demar, thank you very much. Brown TV. You says Brenda is wanted in Jamaica. Is there any legal cases or anything pending for her? Have you got any documents that you could share us on that? Because that would be really interesting. I'm sure a lot of people want their money back, and wanted could mean different sorts of things. And I did know that you meant the word. Danny, Rob, you got the word out that you know those people heard. We know we got the word out. We know they heard it, and they would certainly have something to think about. I get you. I get it. I'm just reading it wrong. A bit tired at the moment. But let's carry on. Oops. Let's carry on now.
Partnerships with governments and Fortune 500 companies around the world. They established a $300 million plus fund to assist over 80 blockchain.
Yeah, well, I don't believe that was true for a second. Did anyone else?
Projects. Now, why are they doing that? Because their goal is to spread the right message, to do things the right way, and educate the masses. So who wouldn't want to align themselves with people who truly want to educate the masses on our future?
I just hope that Brenda Chunga doesn't get stripped of everything she owns and then get set free because she dobbed in Sam Lee, because that would just be stupid, wouldn't it? And that's what I keep thinking.
In reality, as reported in a November 2021 article, Blockchain Global had entered voluntary administration, a self-administered restructuring procedure, owing creditors a reported $21 million, an estimate that was later increased to approximately $50 million. The article stated that Lee had stepped down as a director in March 2019.
Wow, how cool is that? So they're bringing out everything. You said something about Hyperbank. I said something about Hyperbank. Did we see that in that one, in the organizational chart? Yeah, it would be interesting. I remember Hcash as well, and I don't know if that ever really got traction, but I'm just seeing if that will bring up what we're trying to there. So where did it bring up Hyperbank? Hcash Foundation, Mars Home, Mars Academy, token layers, HyperFund, HyperMine, HyperGain, where did I see Hyperbank? Was that in the, that wasn't in this chart, was that in the PDF I'm reading? I think it was. Yeah, it must have been. I can't see it there. Unless I'm missing that. No, can't see Hyperbank. What am I missing? No, it must have been in the HyperFund. No, I can't see that. It must have been in the PDF, was it? Let's go back to that then. But I believe you. That sounds good. I'm into that. Right, let's go to 74 and let's read that and see what we can learn from number 74.
HyperFund's affiliation with IBM. 74.
Brilliant.
Materials used to promote HyperFund also touted that the last of the 4 entities that comprised the HyperFund group, Cash, was engaged in quantum-resistant security projects with IBM. Chunga featured this alleged relationship prominently during her presentation, including presentations she made after the transition to HyperVerse. In a presentation she gave on February 9th, 2021, Chunga told investors, "A next successful entity is Cash. They focus on quantum resistance. When you're talking strictly about quantum computers, they are one of the fastest computers in the world. They are working alongside IBM. However, IBM was not involved with Cash."
Isn't HyperPay? I think you're right, actually. HyperPay's, HyperPay's not HyperBC. They reckon that's sort of connected, really. Anyway, let's carry on.
Revenue generated from large-scale crypto asset mining. 75. Chunga anticipated investors asking how HyperFund could pay rewards every day. The slide decks Chunga used to promote HyperFund addressed this issue. One of the purported sources of the funds to fuel the daily rewards was the Hypertech Group's large-scale crypto mining.
Yeah, how good's that? So here you go. Here was the slide. So they've actually gone through the whole pitch deck, or PowerPoint presentation, we call it here in New Zealand, and basically all the claims that they made. And this is going back to the original, where obviously Brenda Chunga was at the start. And they've got all these photos of people of the hyper community. And they said things, you know, they've got industry whales. So this is what they tell Kalpesh Patel, that they weren't doing whale trading, angel investors, you know. So I've just about memorized this whole PowerPoint presentation. So I'm so glad that they've actually gone back to the old presentation and brought it up, like, even though they updated it and went as they went, which there might be their like defense that they realized they were wrong. So we updated the presentation as time went on.
In a presentation recorded on or about January 16th, 2021, Chunga explained the mining operations to prospective investors as follows. It means Arona has warehouses upon warehouses that mine crypto. And when we say mine crypto, we're not just talking about Bitcoin. We're talking about the cryptocurrencies that are out here. The top 20. You're talking Ethereum. You're talking Tron. You're talking, there are so many, USDT, so many different cryptocurrencies that they are mining. Again, this is one way revenue is coming into the Hypertech Group.
Wow.
In another presentation, Chunga emphasized that large-scale crypto asset mining not only happened in real time, but claimed they were making so much money doing it that the rewards would keep flowing. And now today, ladies and gents, he does it on a large scale. What does that mean? Large scale simply means he has warehouses all around the world that's constantly mining crypto, constantly, around the clock. So just that alone is bringing in millions, without us. That's without us.
Wow. So even without any help from the community, he's just bringing in millions, and now he wants to give it back to the community and so they can create more millions. That sounds like a good idea.
However, in a recorded audio call a HyperFund investor had with Lee in early 2023, Lee admitted that the Hypertech Group exited the Bitcoin mining business in 2019.
Ooh, did you now? Making all these false claims. So that's good. These guys are getting done. And this shows you that all these We Are Satoshi idiots in these Zoom meetings are also getting done because they are friggin' pouting out false claims that they can't substantiate with any evidence.
Which was long before HyperFund was even launched in the US, and that they did so because mining's not profitable, Lee explained.
They explain. Hey, thanks for the comments in the chat room. Awesome. Thank you very much. If you're new here and you've got any questions, feel free to pout them out. We've still got control of the meeting. We've got 10 people involved.
But how you handle these challenging relationships will determine the quality of your life. If you treat them the way they treat you.
So because they can't turn the meeting off, they have decided that they would play Jesus music and stuff. And we're still in there drawing all over the walls, which is quite tempting to get involved in that. But I have actually put Zoom account join. So they're trying to get control of the meeting again. I'm just going to go back into group. There's not many people left in the room, but I will post a link to this very chat room and see if we can get some people in here. So if people want to, they can actually go into the chat, click on a link, and be on stage with me. Hey, Bob. Right, what have we got? What did we get to? We got to this.
From 2019 onwards, all we did was sell shovels. We didn't even own one single machine because it just doesn't make any sense. In a bull market, the mining machines are overpriced. In a bear market, they're worthless. All right, and there is no gauge to make sure that you're able to guarantee profit unless you have free electricity, which no one in this world has.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I love it. That's really good stuff. I'm actually learning quite a bit by listening to this. I hope you guys are as well.
Lee admitted that he knew the representations the promoters, like Chunga, were making about the Hypertech Group's Bitcoin mining activities were false. A lot of the narrative that was promoted to the hyper community is inaccurate because, sure, it was great demonstrating that, yeah, we were the 4th largest miner in the world, but does it mean anything when we had to sell all our Bitcoins for a couple $100 just to pay electricity? The answer is no. Right? Laughs.
Hello, Mark. How you doing? Whereabouts are you from, mate? Tell me in the you want to see a private chat room on the right? I see you in the waiting room there. Just tell me a little bit about yourself. So do I know you?
Further, Lee admitted that he knew the representations the promoters, like Chunga, were making about the Hypertech Group's Bitcoin mining activities were false. A lot of the narrative that was promoted to the hyper community is inaccurate because, sure, it was great demonstrating that, yeah, we were the 4th largest miner in the world, but does it mean anything when we had to sell all our Bitcoins for a couple $100 just to pay electricity? The answer is no. Right? Laughs.
Right, Mark left. I had somebody on the stage here for a while. Sorry, I wasn't really listening to that, but I didn't hear anything that made my ears tickle, so I presume you're the same. Here we go.
Despite knowing that the HyperFund promoters' representations about large-scale crypto asset mining were false, Lee allowed the representations to continue and did not alter the messaging made available for HyperFund presentations. HyperVerse CEO Stephen Rees-Lewis.
Oh my God, this will be interesting. Stephen Rees-Lewis.
HyperVerse CEO Stephen Rees-Lewis, 81. As noted above, in the fall of 2021, HyperFund rebranded to become HyperVerse. During December 5, 2021 launch of HyperVerse, they unveiled a new CEO, Stephen Rees-Lewis, who delivered a speech during the launch event.
Maybe I've been doing this more than 2
In
or 3
her
years.
HyperVerse presentation, Chunga walked through Lewis's resume, including highlighting that he started his career as a derivatives trader at a prominent investment bank.
Sure you did.
According to this investment bank, there is no record of a Stephen Rees-Lewis ever being a derivatives trader at the firm. The individual featured as Stephen Rees-Lewis was
Here we go.
really a paid actor who worked as a TV presenter working alongside international businesses, helping front their products and services, and resides in Bangkok City, Thailand.
Oh my goodness. How did they find that out? And did they find that out about it before? That'd be interesting. I wonder if they found out about that before Jack Gamble found out, because that's probably been close
HyperFund's
time.
memberships were securities, 84. The HyperFund memberships are investment contracts and therefore securities, pursuant to Section 2(1) of the Securities Act and Section 3(10) of the Exchange Act. An investment contract involves 1. The investment of money, 2. in a common enterprise, 3. with a reasonable expectation of profits to be derived from the efforts of others. SEC v. W.J. Howie, Company, 328 U.S.
Yeah, so that's really cool. So even though they label it as rewards, they still managed to say this is an investment opportunity.
HyperFund memberships were typically offered and sold in exchange for money in the form of the crypto asset called Tether. Additionally, some investors purchased HyperFund memberships by paying Chunga in fiat currency, i.e. the US dollar.
Yep. So she received money from one entity and filtered it through her own, which you're not allowed to do. That's money laundering. So I can't go to the ice cream shop and stand outside the ice cream shop and say, hey, give me some money and I'll go buy you an ice cream, put the money in my pocket, and then I use my credit card to pay for the ice cream. That's what money laundering. You're not allowed to do that. It's naughty.
HyperFund membership investments were investments in a common enterprise. All HyperFund membership investors' funds were pooled by HyperFund, and each HyperFund membership investor at the same rewards level was to be paid pro rata returns in direct proportion to the number of HyperFund memberships purchased in the form of fixed interest payments or rewards.
Yep.
HyperFund membership investors were led to expect profits from purchasing the HyperFund membership, and those profits were to be derived from the efforts of third parties, HyperFund and its agents. Specifically, in promotional materials and elsewhere, HyperFund and its promoters like Chunga promised that HyperFund would use investor proceeds to operate a large-scale crypto asset mining venture from which investors would passively earn their profits or rewards. Although the investors could earn leveraged or accelerated rewards through the optional referral program, HyperFund promoters emphasized that investors could remain passive
to earn rewards, and these words would be, well, I can read a little bit, can't I?
To earn rewards, and that these rewards would be stable specifically because of the work of others, including HyperFund's supposed large-scale crypto asset mining, among other things. Unregistered sale of securities, 88. Sections 5 and 5C of the Securities Act required that an issuer like HyperFund register the offer or sale of securities with the SEC. Similarly, those provisions prohibit individuals like Chunga and Lee from engaging in unregistered offers or sales of securities.
Yep. So you're not allowed to do, that's the point. They were selling things. They were trading money.
No registration statement was in effect or had been filed as to the offer or sale of HyperFund memberships, which were securities.
All right, let's go through and do right down to here. Getting closer.
Defendants, directly or indirectly, offered or sold HyperFund memberships through the use of interstate facilities or the mails and interstate commerce, 91. Defendants' offers and sales of HyperFund memberships did not qualify for an exemption from registration, 92. Chunga violated Section 5 by playing an integral role in the distribution of HyperFund memberships. For example, she used social media to publicize and promote HyperFund memberships and actively recruited investors into purchasing HyperFund memberships through periodic Zoom presentations and directly sold memberships to investors.
Yeah. Now, HyperPay, I'm not sure about HyperPay. It could be a coincidence even, but I do know they had HyperBC, and HyperBC was a bank in the UAE that had 4 or 5 branches. I remember looking that up at the time. And I don't know whether HyperPay and HyperBCT was connected. So I don't really know. So I'm guessing if it was anywhere, it would be in Dubai. And I don't know the banking rules or whether who can open up a bank and so forth. But I don't think there's going to be any funds sitting in any bank, just saying. Well, there could be, but I don't think so.
Lee violated Section 5 by playing an integral role in the distribution of the HyperFund memberships. As a founder, Lee created and launched HyperFund. Importantly, the descriptions of his business experience and media appearances that appeared in the slide decks of PowerPoint presentations during the Zoom presentations used to recruit investors were critical elements of the offers and sales of HyperFund memberships.
Violated Section 5 by playing an integral role in distributing HyperFund memberships. Cool. Yeah, I don't know much about HyperPay, unfortunately. By the way, I don't even know what Crypto Zen is. Is it Crypto Buddha? What's that about? I don't know. Above my pay scale. Sorry, I'm just only good at highlighting words and getting them read by a robot is what my job function is.
Lee's appearance and speech during the launch of HyperVerse was an offer of securities. Lee's reputation and public-facing crypto asset persona deceived investors into believing that HyperFund was not a scam because it was backed by a known crypto asset entrepreneur. Those details were used to add legitimacy and credibility to the scheme, and to convince investors that their money was not only safe, but that the money they expected to make was coming from purportedly legitimate sources.
Well, yeah, that's cool. So that's celebrity endorsements in a way, isn't it, Connor? I don't think he'll be endorsing it in the future.
The defendants violated the anti-fraud provisions, 95. Lee, as one of the founders of HyperFund, knew or was reckless in not knowing that HyperFund did not generate revenue sufficient to be able to reasonably expect to meet its payment obligations to investors other than income generated from the sales of new HyperFund memberships, and therefore was a Ponzi scheme. 96. Lee knew, or was reckless in not knowing, that HyperFund could not reasonably expect to generate the returns that the HyperFund membership promotional materials promised investors, including the returns promised via the so-called rewards program, which was nothing but a pyramid scheme recruiting tool.
The rewards program. Oh my God. Yep. Yeah, we're still in the meeting. There's only 9 of us in here now. Bob, when am I allowed to go? I got 17% battery left. Is Jesus still in there?
To me. So the way I did that was just remove myself from the situation. And then, you know what, years later, I realized that person has come around and I feel good about myself because I was never,
Still in that meeting. They pushed the people at the top as gurus. They did. Exactly right. It's actually quite interesting, this document.
Lee's role in the HyperFund membership scheme was critical from its inception to long after its collapse. Lee was a co-founder of HyperFund and was marketed to investors as a key aspect of the enterprise. In presentation slides labeled Credibility, HyperFund detailed Lee's purported various roles and accomplishments, suggesting an investment in HyperFund was a good idea because Lee was the architect.
Wow.
Lee's involvement did not stop there. Lee was a prominently featured speaker for the launch of HyperVerse, the supposed rebrand of HyperFund after its first collapse, on or about December 5, 2021. And again, Lee's role was key. As a founder, his presence allowed the HyperFund scheme to transition to HyperVerse with continuity. During the speech, Lee made at least 2 statements that were misleading because he omitted certain key facts. 99. Lee touted his business prowess by introducing himself as the CEO of Blockchain Global. At that time, however, that statement omitted information that would have been material to investors given the context in which it was made, namely, Blockchain Global had ceased business operations, a fact Lee knew or recklessly disregarded. Lee also failed to mention that he stepped down from Blockchain Global as a director and that the company no longer had any operations.
Wow. Just step down and say it didn't exist and it all go away. Hey, that's what you do. Just pretend you weren't there.
Moreover, during the HyperVerse launch speech, Lee also specifically discussed his purported success as one of the first miners of Bitcoin, not only as an illustration of his business acumen, but also seemingly as a parallel to suggest that the opportunity the rebranded HyperVerse presented to investors was just as big as investing in Bitcoin. However, despite raising his supposed experience in Bitcoin mining, Lee failed to add that Hypertech Group's large-scale mining operations ended in 2019, as Lee again knew or recklessly disregarded, and as reasonable investors would have wanted to know in the context of Lee touting his supposed Bitcoin mining prowess.
Get anything out of that, really? Rebranding. Sounds like Lee, which is otherwise known as Scam Lee. Wonder why they didn't use Scam Lee's name in here.
Lee's statements were particularly misleading for 2 reasons. First, he knew prospective HyperFund memberships investors were told by HyperFund that the large-scale mining operations and the revenues from Blockchain Global were sources of the passive rewards they would receive. Second, he knew the purportedly robust viability of those business operations were used to imply that because Hypertech Group had numerous independent revenue streams, it was not a scam. Indeed, Chunga punctuated this message in her presentations.
Yep, blockchain sources. So they made a lot of statements by the look of it.
By saying they have more to lose than to gain, and this is not a company that needs your money.
I love that. I remember hearing that. This company did not need your money, but if you want to deposit $300...
Lee closed his December 5th, 2021 speech by emphasizing his direct involvement in HyperVerse, saying that it was very exciting to be a part of a team to provide my knowledge to this ecosystem, and I look forward to a great 2022.
Brilliant. Oh, I love this because what they've done basically is given these guys enough rope to hang themselves, haven't they?
After HyperFund's total collapse, Lee was the only founder who surfaced on videos with promoters, including Chunga, teasing investors with the hope of a possible recovery plan. Lee obtained money through HyperFund, including, but not limited to, approximately $140,000 sent to a digital wallet in Lee's custody or control in a series of transactions occurring on or about or between February 23, 2023 and May 8, 2023.
That's a bugger. Wouldn't it be neat if it was the exact amount and they gave us the wallet address, because then we could look up and find a whole lot of other stuff. That would have been good.
Chunga, as one of the top US promoters, knew or was reckless in not knowing that HyperFund was being promoted through misleading statements and false promises.
Yep, she must have known. I mean, you can't say I was negligent, because she was right in bed with everyone. So it's just brilliant, really. And now I reckon she's going to walk.
Chunga ignored numerous red flags about HyperFund. For example, in March 2021, the United Kingdom's Financial Conduct Authority, FCA, issued a scam warning regarding HyperFund, a warning Chunga knew about or recklessly disregarded.
Recklessly disregarded. I love that
In
statement.
December 2021, Chunga also learned that Blockchain Global, one of the companies that was purportedly feeding revenue into the HyperFund project, had collapsed. Yet, even as late as March 2022, after HyperFund rebranded to HyperVerse, Chunga was still touting Blockchain Global as part of the project's credibility.
Recklessly.
In December 2021, Chunga learned about an online article labeling HyperFund as a Ponzi scheme. Chunga ignored it.
That would be from behind MLM, I bet.
Chunga ignored withdrawal issues regarding HyperFund when investors raised them to her, which occurred with regularity during the relevant period, and especially when those challenges became more significant starting in November-December 2021. As alleged above, defendants raised funds from retail investors in the United States and across the world through the unregistered offer and sale of securities, HyperFund memberships. In connection with the offer and sale of those securities, the defendants engaged in a scheme to defraud investors and further engaged in practices that operated as a fraud or deceit upon those investors. To date, HyperFund raised over $1.7 billion. Defendants knew or were reckless in not knowing that their statements about HyperFund's returns and profits were materially false and misleading. Defendants further knew or were reckless in not knowing that they were operating a scheme to defraud investors in HyperFund's securities.
I would be interested to know whether, do you remember Sam was bringing HyperFund back? So was it the HyperFund Stable Limited? So how is Sam, I don't know if this still exists, isn't this really? So this is on Sam's server right now. How would he explain the fact that he was going to start up HyperVerse again, or HyperNation, whatever they call it? Because here's the website that he's totally got ready. So this is actually on Stable Dayo Limited. So you come here, you've got a complete rip-off, and he's already made it that people can register, which theoretically is you can go buy a $400, and look, the extension plan. So this is his way of bringing this back, and you can create an account. It's just absolutely incredible. It was meant to start on the 15th of August, 23, basically 7 days. So that's Sam. Now, if you're not trying to figure out this, you can't see the address that it's typed in, but this is the hyperverse.limited. And how would Sam explain that he was going to bring back this company? Impossible. And then if you take out the hyperverse and just type in stable.limited, you'll find that that's Stable Dayo. Oh, account suspended. Did you guys know that? How cool is that? I didn't know that. So Stable Dayo has had their account removed. I'm going to put that in the Avengers room. Oh, that's cool. Account suspended. That must be something to do with... So Stable Dayo is offline. This account has been suspended. Oh, brilliant. Where's that? That's Avenger news. Ah, brilliant. So this is people finally, after 2 bloody years, taking action. Oh, this is just amazing. Lisa's gone to sleep. I'll give her that one to wake up to. The Avenger chat shit. Let's chat shit. Let's go there. Sarah Martin. It's good. Go one. Boom. So that's something I didn't know. So that's great news. So that is just awesome. So there you go. That's what happens if you're a scammer. You have your websites taken down. So how are we going to do your KYC details now, you idiots?
First, claim for relief and registered offers and sales of securities in violation of Sections 5 and 5C of the Securities Act against both defendants. 112. The Commission repeats and realleges paragraphs 1 through 111 of its complaint. 113. The offer and sale of HyperFund memberships was an offer and sale of securities. 114. Defendants directly or indirectly, singly or in concert, made use of means or instruments of transportation or communication in interstate commerce or of the mails to sell, through the use or medium of a prospectus or otherwise, securities as to which no registration statement was in effect.
Wow, that's cool. I just got Khan's address. So just while we're talking, I'm going to show you what I do with this stuff. I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to go to Millernote, and Khan, which is Sam's best friend that we did a bit of research on the other day. I just got some intel in where he lives. So if you want to know where Khan lives, first of all, we'll bring it up. Bringing it up. What have we got here? 8 people in the room. Bob, do I have to stay in this room all night long? All night long. This is taking a long time to load. What's happening here? Start again. Okay, here we go. So what we need to do is we need to search for Khan. Well, actually, no, we don't. We need to search for Sam Lee first. If you're wondering where Sam lives, he lives in Villa 205. Is it in his hotel? Okay, so we've got Sam Lee. And we see that he lives... Oh, I haven't got his address in here. I haven't wrote it down, but I have got his address because he lives... Is it the same hotel? So this is where Sam Lee lives. He's in Villa 205. Oh, right. So lives in hotel building. Right. So theoretically, Sam lives Dubai, hotel residence building, Dubai. But residence, hotel residence. I'll see what it is, but theoretically, this building here is where he lives. The residence, directions, save. See if I can find the address. So my hunch, the residence, not Arabs, room. Okay, I'll show you this in a second. I'll just pass it. Boom. So theoretically, this guy Khan, I'm just verifying this is true, is Sam's best friend, right? And Sam's best friend is called Khan, C-A-R-N. There it is. And we found Khan's address here the other day. So that's Khan. And his location is actually meant to be room number, room 3000. So that there is where he's meant to live. So we'll verify that in the not too distant future. But in the meantime, if you wanted to have a look, theoretically, this is where he lives. Nope. So this is Sam's best friend. And this is a typical room. And the lifestyle of the rich and famous, eh? Looks like a nice complex. But that's the hotel side of it. They must have residents. Good to know. Thank you. So I'll get that verified hopefully before this meeting goes, but that's another feather in the cap. So, all right, first claim. Let's do this. The first claim of both defendants.
First claim for relief and registered offers and sales of securities in violation of Sections 5 and 5C of the Securities Act against both defendants.
Okay.
112. The Commission repeats and realleges paragraphs 1 through 111 of its complaint. 113. The offer and sale of HyperFund memberships was an offer and sale of securities. 114.
Yeah,
Defendants directly or indirectly, singly or in concert, made use of means or instruments of transportation or communication in interstate commerce or of the mails to sell, through the use or medium of a prospectus or otherwise, securities as to which no registration statement was in effect, for the purpose of sale or for delivery after sale, carried or caused to be. Case 124 CV 00296 IDB Document 1 filed the 29th of January, carried through the mails or in interstate commerce, by any means or instruments of transportation, securities as to which no registration statement was in effect, and or made use of means or instruments of transportation or communication in interstate commerce or of the mails to offer to sell or offer to buy, through the use or medium of a prospectus or otherwise, securities as to which no registration statement had been filed. 115. By reason of the foregoing, defendants violated and, unless enjoined, are reasonably likely to continue to violate Sections 5 and 5C of the Securities Act. The Commission repeats and realleges paragraphs 1 through 111 of its complaint. 117. By engaging in the conduct described above, defendants, directly or indirectly, singly or in concert, in the offer or sale of securities and by the use of the means or instruments of transportation or communication in interstate commerce or the mails, knowingly, recklessly, or negligently, employed one or more devices, schemes, or artifices to defraud. B. Obtained money or property by means of one or more untrue statements of material fact or omitted to state one or more material facts necessary in order to make the statements made, in light of the circumstances under which they were made, not misleading, and or
engaged. Quite interesting, isn't it? The jargon's always a bit weird, but I can understand what they're saying.
Engaged in one or more transactions, practices or courses of business, which operate or would operate as a fraud or deceit upon a purchaser. 118. By reason of the foregoing, defendants violated and, unless enjoined, are reasonably likely to continue to violate Section 17 of the Securities Act.
Ooh.
The Commission repeats and realleges paragraphs 1 through 111 of its complaint. 120. Defendants directly or indirectly, singly or in concert, by the use of the means or instrumentalities of interstate commerce, or of the mails, or the facilities of a national securities exchange, in connection with the purchase or sale of securities, knowingly or recklessly.
Knowingly or recklessly. I love that word recklessly. It's such a strong word. So recklessly, here we go. They did this.
Employed one or more devices, schemes, or artifices to defraud. B. Made one or more untrue statements of a material fact or omitted to state one or more material facts necessary in order to make the statements made, in light of the circumstances under which they were made, not misleading, and or C. Engaged in one or more acts, practices, or courses of business which operated or would operate as a fraud or deceit upon other persons, including purchasers and sellers of securities.
Yeah, so she basically did repeat offending. So she wasn't like, oh, I made a mistake and stopped. She carried on doing it. She was reckless. Loving
By
this.
reason of the foregoing, defendants violated and, unless enjoined, are reasonably likely to continue to violate Section 10(b) of the Exchange Act.
All right.
Relief requested. Wherefore, the Commission respectfully requests that the court find the defendants committed the violations alleged and enter a final judgment.
Right. Let's see what we've got with this one then. Whoops. Grabbed the wrong one. See how good this is. We'll see if we can get the whole lot in one go, eh? We're nearly done. And then I have a special surprise for you.
Permanent injunctions, permanently restraining and enjoining defendants, their officers, agents, servants, employees, attorneys, and all persons in active concert or participation with them, and each of them, from directly or indirectly violating the federal securities laws alleged in this complaint, and further permanently restraining and enjoining defendants, their officers, agents, servants, employees, attorneys, and all persons in active concert or participation with them, and each of them, from directly or indirectly, 1. Offering, operating, or participating in any marketing or sales program in which the participant is compensated or promised compensation solely or primarily for inducing another person to become a participant in the program, or B. If such induced person induces another to become a participant in the program, and 2. Participating directly or indirectly in any offering of crypto asset securities, provided, however, that such injunction shall not prevent defendants from purchasing or selling crypto asset securities for their own personal accounts.
Wow. This legal stuff's good, eh?
Ordering defendants to disgorge all ill-gotten gains they receive directly or indirectly, with prejudgment interest thereon, as a result of the alleged violations, pursuant to Section.
So we're just going to get into civil penalties. This is
Civil penalty, ordering defendants to pay civil money penalties pursuant to Section 20D of the Securities Act.
Right, further relief. What's that?
Further relief, granting any other and further relief this court may deem just and proper, retention of jurisdiction. Further, the Commission respectfully requests that the court retain jurisdiction over this action and defendants in order to implement and carry out the terms of all orders and decrees that it may enter, or to entertain any suitable application or motion by the Commission for additional relief within the jurisdiction of this court.
We're nearly at the end. So the demand of jury and demand for jury and trial.
The Commission hereby demands a trial by jury on any and all issues in this action. So,
okay, so let's see who they submit it to. We'll go to plaintiffs. So we've got Court of Maryland. I don't know any of those names, but that is quite exciting. Well, there you go, guys. That is the 31-page document. We finally got there over 2 parts. I wanted to document that for myself and my own mental brain. I wanted to know I read that, and I did learn some pretty cool facts about it, certainly about how they were actually taking physical money, because I did hear that. Yeah, okay, so what have we got? Room, this is the address of the hotel is very close to the tower. Okay, so can you give me the link to the hotel? It's awesome. Sarah Martin, Stable Deo. Yep. So I just told the reporter that Stable Deo's website is down, which is very exciting. Suspended. So that's Sam's website. So Stable Deo's website, which you can't see because I haven't got the right tab on, is down and offline. Account suspended. So no more Sammy. Hey? How did we do our KY details now, huh? Isn't that major? So Stable Deo's website's here. You heard it here, the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. Every day, a parade. Every meal, a banquet. Every paycheck, a fortune. I love the core. That's an Aliens too, if you haven't watched it. But having that account suspended is just brilliant. Isn't that so exciting? So let's just search. And look, they've still got their logo at the top, which is even funnier. So that is just absolutely brilliant. I'm going to take the credit for that. Yeah, so that's just so cool. That is such a good thing. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to find out. We're going to actually, even though it's late and we've been doing this for a long time, I'm going to push it a bit further. I want to watch this 30-minute video. I've never watched this video, and I want to watch it with you. So this is actually called Sam Lee BB Update. And I actually am literally going to put that in the timestamps. And it's going to be time-stamped at 3 hours. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm making you guys do this. Sorry. 3 hours, 33 minutes. Let's go. Let's make it 45 seconds, and that will be exactly right. Saving that there. So let's get you into this one. This is Sam Lee, and this is probably the most shocking video with Brenda Chunga trying to act like everything's just dandy, and she loves the hyper community, and she's depressed about the whole lot. But what she's really doing here, this is after she has been arrested, and she's been let out again as an informant to the men in black, trying to entrap Sam to go to the USA so they can arrest him. Now, what I don't like about this, and also the Men in Black strategies, is simply the fact that the community drew closer to Sam after she did this. So, in fact, a lot of people are now involved in things like We Are All SATOSHI, or Video Look 1, 2, 3, and 4, Stable Data, which we've just shown you today, has gone offline. And here we are trying to coerce the community into a relationship with Sam so they trust him again. And she's facilitating that solely because they want to arrest Sam and Ryan Jew, of course, which we don't know who it is. So this whole video, I can't believe I've actually ever watched it, but I might have done. So let's have a listen.
Is why a lot of the people from Hyper, although they have, after meeting me, want nothing to do with me because I can't speak their language, right?
Well, it's more than that, Sam.
But they all respect me. And the reason they respect is because there is nothing I say to them that has harmed them. You know, I've given them visibility so that they're able to make the best decisions in their lives.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And I'm looking at the chat because a lot of the leaders here actually came from Hyper. I'm reading one of this messages, which is good. It says, can you please remind Sam, Stable DAO is full of HyperVerse people. They won't be activated until they feel justified with receiving their past money. So I know you were supposed to do an update call just to update the community about where we stand with Hyper and what you've probably said to them or showing them with the screenshots of the 1x that they've been posting on Stable DAO. Can you just, for the leaders to have something to go back to their community and give them an update, can you just share with us where we stand with corporate, what you've shared with them, or what they're saying, what they're doing, so we could have some type of resolution to get back to our members who are just waiting?
Okay.
Of course. And my interest is to get a resolution, right? Because a resolution clears my name. It's just as simple as that. So my interest is aligned definitely with your community's interest. So that is why, just to give you guys an update, although I've been getting 1x information and continue to collect 1x information, I have not publicized this 1x information because corporate is requesting more time to give a resolution to the community, because you have to understand, right? They know that time is not on their side. Okay. I also can see that they have hidden, the withdrawal records from the back office, right? But they know time is not on their side. And the reason is, once this information in a pretty little report and spreadsheet with pie graphs and bar graphs and big numbers go public, right? The next step is the acceleration of relevant interested parties wanting to get more visibility on this. Obviously, I have an NDA, so aside from what's collected, I cannot share anything outside of this. I can share what you guys have given me because you guys have, by submitting that, given me permission to share that publicly. So,
is she going to
they're
swallow
asking
that?
for more time.
I think she swallows a lot.
They're asking for more time to do what? Okay? To do something that is to the benefit of the community instead of doing absolutely nothing. Okay?
I have a plan.
Remember, mediation is the best outcome for this community. Okay? If they wrap this all up and then voila, And then what that means is it's no longer a legal matter, it's a criminal matter. And when it's a criminal matter, no one really gets their money back, right? So these guys have money. And of course, because I'm going to be the guy responsible for bringing affiliate marketing and cryptocurrencies through Bitcoin back together again, like two old enemies who don't really understand each other, becoming best friends, we're going to create magic and Bitcoin will be $100,000, okay? And if that's the case, then guess what?
So he's trying to claim that Bitcoin's going to be the answer, and that Bitcoin's nothing to do with what they have in a meeting. This is all about a meeting about HyperVerse people who've been promised getting their one times back. And here he is now turning it into a Bitcoin resolution. It's nothing to do with what they're talking about. And look at Brenda, man. She looks terrible.
They even have more money to make everyone whole. So I'm really just giving them a clear runway towards providing that 1x back to everyone, right? But time is not on their side. So that's my update. I haven't provided the report to the community because once that happens, then the time that they have instantly shortens. And when it shortens to a certain extent, then I'm afraid I don't want to do something that prevents the community from getting mediation and getting an outcome.
And so just in your words, do you, in your heart of heart, believe that these individuals will get their 1x? It's just a matter of time. So do you believe that they will eventually get their 1x?
No.
In the heart of hearts, because they have the money, they will eventually give the community that 1x, okay? Eventually. Now, it might be on a payment plan, but it has to start yesterday.
Payment plan.
Okay, but it is great that we have their attention. It is great that they are taking some preliminary actions to understand that this has to happen now.
Okay. And when you say they're taking some preliminary actions, what are those preliminary actions? One not disappearing? Like,
firstly, getting off their asses. Yes. You know, we have to understand that time is not on their side, and you know, the silliest thing that they could do is hide behind a mask. You know, and businesses fail. It happens all the time, but at least be honest with people, right? And you know, some might forgive you, most won't. But then everybody moves on. The whole problem with you know, customer support that never responds and a website that is not giving any updates. It is causing significantly more pain. You know, it's kind of like having that toxic relationship that you can't get out of. You know, you'd rather just, you know, the guy just, well, or the girl just, you know, takes a one-way ticket to the other side of the world, and you know, you just go through significant pain for a very short period of time, and then it's over. You move on. But instead, this is a toxic relationship, and you know, it's not fair. So I'm here to move that along. And you know,
we believe
I have the attention of corporate. I have the attention of the interested parties that want to bring corporate to justice, and time is running out.
And you know, and I love what you said. The sooner they can do this, they can clear your name. So my question to you is, what do you say to that person who says Sam is just here to gather everybody's information and get their money and for his benefit? What do you say to that person saying that Sam's just here to gather people's money and for his benefit, and we don't trust Sam? What do you say to that person? Because we're all trying our best to defend, but let you say it to them. What do you say to that person that keeps saying it?
Oh, well, I don't say anything to that person because, you know what? It's no point talking to people that don't believe me. You know, I am very successful because I don't waste time on people who don't believe me. Let's just put it this way, right? I'm putting myself in instant jail if I took everyone's money and I'm back here again. You have to understand, right? It makes absolutely no sense. You know, if I'm that smart and I have the greatest advisors in many industries here to help me grow, then why would I make the stupidest decision in the world? So look, what allowed me to come back out here to help deal with this matter, not for the community, mind you, and let's just be selfish for a moment. It's for me to clear my name, right? Then what allows me to clear my name is for me to be strong. But how can I be strong if I'm the bad guy, right? And everybody's going after me, right? I can't be strong if I'm a bad guy. You know, so in a nutshell, I'm a good guy or I'm a very stupid bad guy that's about to go to jail. So it's either one or the other.
I think it's the second one.
I love your transparency. I love how you just, you speak what's on your heart and your mind. You really do. And I can appreciate that.
And sorry, and one more thing. It's like, you could literally have me walk into any regulatory, legal, or law enforcement facility, right? And I'll walk in there and then walk right back out, right? Because let's all face it, right? Only normal people who have, let's just say only normal people who do normal business sign legal contracts, right? I'm signing legal contracts with normal people who do normal business because, that's the only language that they understand.
Yeah,
like,
Sam.
Sam might screw me, so let me just do a 40-page contract and get him to sign it, right? But the world at the very top, it's this, all right? What we say is the truth because so help me God, right? If we lie about anything, right, it's not about whether we can let ourselves pass with that lie, but it's just such a stupid thing to do because it is so inefficient. The circle at the very top is so small. Everybody knows everybody. And you know why none of this HyperVerse stuff matters to me? Is because my circle just knows that that's just shit I don't do, right? So I'm just saying, right? At the world at the top, you don't trade money. Money's meaningless. We all have money, and you know what?
So you aren't keeping up with current events, pals. What he traded his Bitcoin blockchain global with, he traded 400 Bitcoin and $1.7 million worth of cash with Brian Xue. And then Brian Xue must have got hold of the company and stole all the money and fled to Dubai or somewhere. We think he's in Singapore or maybe in America. And then Sam, I reckon, got shafted totally.
I'll give you an example, right? I'm doing a real estate transaction in Sri Lanka, but behind the scenes to the blockchain center we just established there. Made $35 million off 2 material contracts, arbitraging interest rates between the local Sri Lankan currency and the US dollar, right? It's a $120 million real estate deal, but because hedging the currency over 5 years, through those 2 legal contracts, $35 million will be made, right? So how much did that actually cost me, right? It's $500,000 in legal fees in arrears, as in once the deal is done, I pay the $500,000 and make 35. Did I put any money down? The answer is no. And you know why I don't have to put money down? Because I'm not a normal human being, because people trust me. So I can basically just use my face and say, this deal is done. Money's in the bank. Let's go already, right? Trust is what accelerates our ability to build together. And unfortunately for, the rest of the business community, they're the ones who have to put, the deposit in order to secure a contract, in order to participate on a wait list of a deal. Excuse me. What I'm trying to say is the highest levels of this world is trading trust, not trading money, because trust makes money move faster. That is why blockchain is such an important tool. It accelerates trust. It accelerates trust because the value that money can move in the blockchain can be accelerated through trust that is not dependent on human beings, but based on maps and cryptography. And that is something that never lies. And so I'm sorry I went on a bit of a ramble, but
no, that was good.
You know what? I just want to give a little bit more visibility on, why you should trust me, because there is no reason for me to, do anything that will slow things down when the world is running out of time. We're talking about de-dollarization. We're talking about the Great Reset. It is happening, and we need to be on the right side of that. And so I want to accelerate all of us towards consensus. And that is why the most misunderstood industry, network marketing, is actually the most powerful tool to create consensus. As long as you guys have my direct contact details, and anything that the leaders say has to be honest, because guess what? You can fact check directly with me. Then guess what? We're not running a normal network marketing company where we're trying to arbitrage information to have this half of the people screw the other half of the people. No, there's going to be plenty of people in the world that are going to be already screwed when the Great Reset happens. And what we need to do is to save them by having them hedge their bets and have a little bit of Bitcoin.
I love it, Sam. You mentioned something once before that, money is not your issue. It's more of building this community and getting the people. So that's why when you said you went on a rant, it was good because you were just saying money is not your issue. I remember you saying that before. It's not your issue. It's more of building this community and building the trust. So as you build a community, build the trust, and people win in this space with you, that builds that trust factor again with you. So that's my understanding when you say all of this, is that just trust me in this journey. You're putting your face out there. This is your baby. You also mentioned that you're more of an asset in the crypto space than a liability. So all those were things that I took into account and I was listening to, and I'm able to share with the community and say, yeah, I mean, time will tell and time will expose. So if you're the bad guy, time will expose you. And if you're the good guy, time will expose you.
Absolutely, absolutely. But sometimes, what I love doing is just making sure that regulators wake up. Regulators are here to protect you, yet they're asleep at the wheel. That's why they keep bailing out the crooks, not just on Wall Street, but the crooks in the crypto industry as well. Come on, you could just put a company into bankruptcy and call it a day, and then all the customers lose all their money and nothing happens to you. So nothing happens to the founder. Then what's the point of a license if it's not enforceable? So unfortunately, this industry is full of regulators that take action too late. And you know what? That's why we're running into the same issue, where our community is falling prey to the same scams, unfortunately, right? And guess what, right? That is why, I always run things in the order of education, regulation, and innovation. Okay, so yes, I educate regulators, but I'm more than happy now that I've inherited this community to educate everyone here. Not in what you guys do, because you guys understand this way more than me, right? So that's why when you tell me something and it makes absolute sense, and I'm hearing it from 10 different leaders, from 10 different countries, then, I just have to get onto the phone the next hour and get this change request action in 24 hours, right? So that's how responsive I am, But more importantly, I'm here to be responsive, to move quickly, and to make right decisions based on the feedback of leadership, so that we basically just clean this industry up. Because, the problem with scammers is, they can move quickly, but then they have to hide. Or, legitimate business people, which move slowly in this industry and eventually run into liquidity issues because the market's already moved on. So, you know what? I can do both, right? I'm a legitimate business person, but because I know how to deal with regulators, I don't mind moving very, very quickly and coming out with you guys as winners on the other side.
That sounds exciting because you have a group of people who literally love helping people. We all got in this space and joined these platforms because we found a way that everyone can help each other and we all win together. But unfortunately, they are those companies that are out to scam, and they have put a bad taste in our mouths, and it made us feel that we can't trust easily anymore. But we have a choice to either trust and see what happens, and also, kind of play it safe. Meaning, I tell people, don't start with just only risk the amount that you're willing to risk, right? Don't put anything in there that you're not willing to risk. And for you to come out and saying, look, I'm going to write a check, that we truly appreciate that. So what I will do, Sam, is get from the community leaders, I'm going to get from the leaders what type of solution I could share and bring to you, so we can kind of implement something, because they're all ready to work. They just don't know who to work with because they don't know the people, they don't have access to the people, but they're willing to work. They're just here like, we hear 800,000 people. How do we get to them? How do we help them? And they want to do that. So if we're going to do it that way, let's come up with a solution that we can all divide the people amongst ourselves and work with them. I think if we do it that way, we all win. Everyone wins. Every single person wins. So thank you so much. I am a person that don't waste people's time. We appreciate your time. I've answered the majority of the questions. Some of the questions are repeat. I was reading the chat. So I like this group because they're leaders and they're not going to sit there and ask you the same question over and over. So we look forward to having you. We plan on having a weekly Zoom. Trust me, it's going to be 1,000 people every single week. So we plan on making that happen. And the fact that you are visible, I know they'll be able to appreciate it, to be able to say, here is Sam. And this is the first time I've seen, Sam, where an actual owner of a company is disvisible. This is the first time I've seen it, where the owner of a company is disvisible. So this means a lot that you're putting yourself on the line here. And like you said, the reason you're doing it is to clear your name. So, we want the 1X and we want the name cleared. Those are two things.
Yeah, and we've had many strong leaders in hyper days, right, in the MLM space. And unfortunately, I haven't gotten the opportunity to learn from all of them. And it would be great to have me and now be strong for these leaders, right? They've all done well. They've probably moved on, but it's perfectly fine because they were in a position where they met me, you know, and I was not ready with the knowledge in order to deal with this community, right? Everything happened so quickly for you guys, just like it has happened for me as well. And it just meant that just as you guys were caught off guard, I was caught off guard as well. Okay, so I don't do anything unless I have the assurity that I'm going to win, because you know what? One of the rules is don't fight a losing war. Okay, it's not fun. So it took me longer than necessary. Well, it took me longer than what the community would have liked for me to be out here to fight for this community. But that time is necessary for me to make sure that I'm able to win for this community, to create a great outcome. Now, there's one more question on the chat, and then I'll hand this back to Brenda for her to end. And that is, do you think it is possible that the government can outlaw cryptocurrencies? And the answer is, if they don't want to collect taxes from this new asset class, then yes. Okay, and that has been successfully done in, drumroll, China. And that is perfectly fine. Okay, that is perfectly fine, because China says we just want to make sure that we are not letting our people participating in what is, well, what I believe a fundamental human right of being able to create and exchange a decentralized value of exchange, right? So that is absolutely fine, right? But for all the democratic countries out there, and even the authoritarian countries out there, as long as they want to tax this new asset class, and they'd be silly not to, because it's just, you know, it's just a new revenue source, right? Then they will embrace this cryptocurrency. And the blockchain centers around the world that I've in the past built and will continue to build are the front to legalizing and regulating the space through educating regulators as well as the public about this amazing technology and all the benefits as well as the many, many, many drawbacks that this technology imposes. Because if you don't get the regulation right in this market, you will face so many challenges, right? And that is why we're in a race against time, okay, to really bring people into this space. And you know what will be the easiest way to bring people into this space? Is give them the safest investment opportunity that will bring back the next bull market. And that is buying.
Nothing to do with it, though.
Okay, back over to you, Brenda. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Sam. We appreciate you. I want to allow everyone to unmute so they can say how much they love you and say goodbye. So thank you, Sam.
Thank you,
and everyone
Sam.
feel free to unmute and say your goodbye.
Bye,
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Sam.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Brenda.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Bye, everyone.
Wow, what do you think about that, guys? I'm just updating the thumbnail of this very
Before you moved out of the country, your
My
friend
God,
took
what's
care of the
that?
dog.
Judge Judy.
Back to the U.S. for a traveling pet owner. You returned and you tried to get in touch with your friend.
Yeah, well, that's been a bit of a long day. We've had a lot of fun. I don't really know what to say. I'm just updating the thumbnail of this very movie. I'll get back to me. That's me. I'm Danny the Heck. So in summary, this was a very long meeting. I think I've killed my audience. Don't always judge me on my last performance. Judge me on my current performance. It was a long day. What happened is the meeting got hijacked by the We Are All SATOSHI meeting, which currently has 8 people still in it, hanging in there. So they will have a new ID for their Zoom meeting tomorrow because the Avengers got into their room. They didn't have a host, and we managed to have a lot of fun in there. So that's what happened at the very start of this meeting. And then we went through the rest of the document that the courts are using to sue or charge Sam Lee and Brenda Chunga. And I wanted to get through that to have a historical timeline of events for my Netflix documentary. And then we went into watching that video where Brenda Chunga had already been arrested, set free to see if she could trap Sam Lee. Brenda Chunga went missing at one point, and the Men in Black were asking me whether they thought that Keith Williams would actually help them trap Brenda Chunga. But Brenda Chunga got found again. She's obviously got no passport, can't travel. But since then, she's had a very lavish wedding. She's had 2 weddings, one set up for, I don't know, Jamaica, and one set up for the USA. But, you know, it's absolutely crazy. So that's me. that's all I have to offer today. There's not going to be a meeting tomorrow. So you can sit there and watch this one. If you've watched this one instead of tomorrow, that'd be cool. If you want to support the meeting in any which way or form, please do thanks. Underneath the video, you'll see a thanks button. Or you can, by all means, I really appreciate any donations, super chats, or you can go to my buy me a cup of coffee and buy me a cup of coffee. I currently have to look for a new place to live, and I need to actually focus my energy in doing that. And I also have a puppy here that wants to go for a walk, so I'm going to do that now. I'll leave you guys. But if you don't know, I'm Danny the Heck, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. I'm here to name and shame anyone running a Ponzi scheme or a scam. Thank you for your ears. Thank you for being here and supporting me along the way of this journey. I do hope that we will have some more intel tomorrow. There's some more articles coming out, I believe, that will really fully expose. If you haven't caught up in the event, Stable Dayo's website has been removed. Let's take the Avengers. Avengers will take credit for that. Maybe the government organisation finally stepped in. The other thing is the Anzac crypto whalers. They have removed all their videos, and also I have them all backed up. And if you are a member of my YouTube channel for $1 a month, you can have access to their videos because I've managed to nab them before they remove them. So there's no point of doing that. All the videos necessarily, especially the one this morning that we did, was Yvonne Henry and Kate Longley was actually facilitating a transaction for $102,000 from a couple, an Australian couple, who have been now contacted by reporters who want to tell their story. So we've also told ABC News to actually go and knock on the doors of Carl Miller, Yvonne Henry, Kate Longley, also George Marcus, and also Jeanette Hortz, whatever it is, Hort. I'll get that one right one day. And those people are now going to be asked to answer why they carried on promoting. Come here, you. Oh, you want to cuddle? Hello, you. Do you want a walkie? Do you want to walk? Is that what you're doing? Is that your way of saying, Dad, take me for a walk? I'm just going to finish the meeting. Say hello to the people. Hey. Oh, he cleans your ears out good. This is Pixel, and if you have been watching my YouTube channel for quite a long time, you will probably see him as a puppy, and he's a very cuddly dog, aren't you? But he's been sleeping around all day long because Dad's been streaming for 8 hours too long. So that's it. That's me. Love you guys. I'll see you next time. I won't be streaming tomorrow. I'm going to have a day off, and I'm going to start trying to find a new place for the podcasting studio and for us to sleep at night. All right, guys. Love you guys. Thanks for your support. Pixel, say goodbye. Thanks. Say goodbye. Oh. He's 2 years old nearly. No, he's 21 months, aren't you? You are. He's a real daddy's boy. All right.